Last time is going to be done by Kenneth because we're actually going to upload it this time. So
Is
take
going
away,
to be
Kenneth.
attempted by Kenneth.
Yeah, that too.
There have been since last time. Um, so I remember that we ended up in town. There was like everything that was trying to keep us in, what was it, Mort?
Mort and Yvonne, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we started off that's right. We started off returning to the Green Order, I think it was called.
Yep.
Wow, and I don't even need notes. So we went to
amazing.
return that, and due to a convenient accounting error in how many people would actually be going on this mission, we ended up making a large sum of coin. And then, like, everyone and their brother wanted us to stay, and we were like, nope, home now.
We are done
And
side questing.
Mhm.
We have a main scenario quest line we got to get back to.
Yeah.
We've picked up our optional party member. Let's get back to the story.
So, well, he's not optional. He likes excitement.
I was making a joke.
Ha 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 ha. Anyway, sometimes I can take them, sometimes I can't. Sorry. Um, but yeah, so we get back, and we've been gone forever, so we're all exhausted, and it's good to be home, and we're starting to relax, and Silver gets called out by someone from her temple, supposedly. And then we end up fighting with the other adventuring party that makes residence in this town. And when the fighting's over, I look up and there are little guys up on my shoulders, and I ask them if we won. And then we finally got to get rest, I hope. And then Locke apparently had some series of vision dreams. It's like when the real world goes really slow motion for a while. That's cool for a minute, but then the world has to go really fast to catch up. So all of the missed dream sequences all hit him all at once, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep. You had asked your patron, Vindsvept, to give you information on various things, and he gave you all of that information all at once.
And he also got attacked by something that looked like him.
Yes. He indeed got attacked by something that looked like him. Prompting the kaiju fight to end and Locke wake up to the sound of a trumpet, which sounded decidedly like Cad or any other Loxodon. So,
well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm sleeping soundly, so it's obviously not me.
Right.
Right. We're aware. So, with that in mind, we can go ahead and jump into the story proper. As last session ended with Locke waking up in a cold sweat in the loft of his mom's library, hearing the sound of a trumpet, we will jump back a little bit to go to the inside of the tavern for Yukiegi, where everyone else is. Everyone is sleeping rather peacefully. It's calm. There's not any crazy weird dreams going on. And I would like for everyone except for Locke, who is not in the tavern, and Cad, to make for me a perception check at disadvantage because you're asleep. It's not going to be hard, but it's still required.
You said everyone except Locke and except for me?
Yep, except for Cad.
Not hard, eh?
Well,
I got a 2. I am out.
Disadvantage.
Bjorn was sleeping lightly, I suppose.
Wow. Disadvantage and a 22 because plus 17. So the girls hear nothing. That's good to know. So, because perception of 2 from Silver and 8 from Yong, so those two hear nothing. They are passed out. Which, considering it's been a while since they've got some good sleep, it seems reasonable. After all, that whole venture to the these two haven't really slept since the rave back in Bjork, or back in
Bjork.
not
Morquita?
not
Morquita?
Yes, that one, Morquita. Thank you.
Shadows of Gradiriel? Sorry, go ahead.
Shush. Anyway, so yes, Bjorn, you hear it, and it sort of stirs you from your slumber a little bit. And Oak most definitely hears it because perception, yes. The two of you hear like the sound of heavy movement and crashing coming from essentially across the hall of the upper floors of the tavern where you currently are. And in light of that, I actually have a thing. It's amazing.
Oh no, it's a maze.
Uh-oh.
Boop.
Oh my goodness gracious.
I don't believe it. I blinked and all of a sudden I had high definition vision.
Did the tavern get an upgrade?
Oh my goodness! I think the tavern's bigger than it is on the town map.
Yes. So
This is cool.
Okay. So across the hall here,
Yeah.
crashing and such?
across the hall from where you are currently staying, you hear the sound of heavy movement and crashing.
And Oak's in the room with me.
Oak is in the room with you, so it is the two of you in this room here, and then
Yeah.
Yong and Silver
okay.
over here.
I guess I'll cast a quick glance at Oak and like, is this normal here?
I would a reason not, but considering that this tavern was apparently blown up previously, maybe something's going on.
We should check it out, I think.
Yeah. Sure, if the girls heard anything, they'll come and running, and if not, one of us can go and get them.
Alright, I'm gonna grab my sword, just in case, keep it sheathed, but have it on me, and I'm gonna venture across the hall, and I'm assuming the door is shut.
Yeah.
And I know, okay. So I'm gonna give a sharp knock on the door, like, everything okay in there? You alright?
It is apparent when you step outside that the heavy crashing and noise and things is in fact coming from Cad's room. Or the room in which you know Cad to be sleeping, which is up here.
So yeah, so definitely knocking.
At the knocking, there is no response, but there's still crashing.
Is the door locked?
You check and see if the door is locked. It is not locked. Cad's a trusting sort. He didn't lock his door. Why would he? He's in Yukiyagi. It's peaceful here.
Indeed.
I've balanced their book.
Starts having Vietnam flashbacks to the time we had to break an entire forest to stop the town from burning down.
I know, right? But you're not there.
Wait, we had to what?
A long ass time ago, there was like a fire out in the forest nearby, and so we actually took efforts cut away some of the forest so that it wouldn't be able to leap to the town proper or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
I remember that.
I do too. That was last season.
That was a while ago.
That was several sessions ago. Yes.
Oh no.
By the way,
Mini session.
By the way, for what it's worth, this is officially session 50. Yay! Anyway,
That is a healthy number of sessions.
So yeah, you reach up, you open up the door, and it opens up easily because Cad didn't lock it or anything, and you are immediately presented with the source of the crashing and noise. It is Cad, who seems to be rather aggressively destroying a bedside table.
Odd.
You come into the room as Envy, his maul, comes crashing down into the table and just shatters it to smithereens.
Okay. Cad? You there, buddy?
Nope. Or wait, no. You say Cad? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
so-
I'm here, but
Definitely. I'm attempting to acquire his attention.
yeah. So Cad will turn to face you. Or at least turn towards your attention as he just shatters the bedside table. Make for me a perception check, if you would.
Do.
12. You do notice that around the room, in various places of the room, you see those same like specters that normally would fly up whenever Cad would be in ragey mode. The ones that you were the only one to determine that they all look like Cad. They are just sitting in the room.
Like just chilling out.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cad will turn to you and he will trumpet very loudly, and I will have those that are awake to roll initiative.
God.
I am confused and concerned.
Yeah.
You are asleep in your own house, sir.
Locke
No,
is
he's-
asleep in his own house. I am confused and concerned.
No, he is not technically, because the trumpet that you heard was
No,
that
oh.
one.
I forgot to select my token first.
So it's going to be Cad, or it's going to be Bjorn, Oak, and Locke who are going to roll initiative.
I think I just heard brain cells firing.
Brain cells firing? What brain cells firing?
What happened?
There's some really high squeaky.
Yeah, that was me. I rolled a natural 20, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Select your your token's not on this map.
Yeah, it's not.
Then I
He gets
just
a
forgot to
surprise
click
round.
mine.
He gets a surprise round where he like jumps up and hits his head on the ceiling.
Kinda, I guess. Bonk. Ow! Fuck!
You showed you.
So, then we need an Oak. And Bjorn needs to roll initiative.
I did. I just forgot to click my token.
So this is like the second time Cad has suddenly become aggressive.
Yes.
Mine was supposed to be a 20.
I'm
Your initiative
sensing a
was 20?
pattern.
Yep.
And then we actually roll. There we go. And do a descending. So, Locke, upon you waking up in the cold sweat that you were waking up with, not knowing what's going on in the tavern, precisely, what is your immediate desire, as it were? What are you
Well-
immediately going to do?
Well, I'm pretty sure I recognize that trumpet as Cad's battle cry, right?
Usually.
Like I've heard that many times before. So Locke is going to immediately assume the worst, grab whatever tools he has nearby, grab like his book, whatever spellcasting implement he has, and quickly go to follow the noise like, we're under attack, we're under attack!
Alrighty.
He is moving to provide assistance to his friend, whatever because he doesn't know what's going on. He's just trying to get to the scene of the thing. I imagine that's going to take a couple rounds to
Oh yeah.
resolve because I'm like a block away.
Yeah. Horn, what is your dexterity modifier, sir?
Oof, that's an interesting question. It is a 2.
Your dexterity modifier is 2.
Yep.
Okay, good to know. Cad, in this case Kenneth, roll for me a random d6, sir. Just roll for me.
That is right.
3. So, Cad, he's just swinging and trumpeting, and he will slam his maul into one of his the specters that is constantly flying around him, that are just not flying around him right now. They are just sitting in the room, and he will slam his maul into one of them, and the I actually have to do an attack roll. Duh. Because I am the one controlling Cad right now. Hooray! So, Cad will slam with his maul into one of his Spectre Spirit things, and it will simply, it will simply just dissipate and sort of fade and disappear. Bjorn, what are you going to do with your turn, sir?
Okay, so the specters aren't doing anything that I can tell, and Cad doesn't seem to be hostile towards me.
Not currently, at least.
That being the case, I'm gonna tell Oak I think maybe he should wake up the others, and I'm gonna sort of like hold position in the door. I'm gonna prepare an action, like if Cad does come at me, I'm gonna like try to grapple him and restrain his weapon. But otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of wait for more people who know him better to show up and try to figure this out.
No. As it was said, this is not the first time Cad has raged out for uncontrollably or for no reason, and this is the first time you're experiencing it, though. So.
Exactly, yeah. So, like, Bjorn doesn't want to tangle with... He's seen Cad fight. He doesn't want to mess with that until he knows what's going on.
Fair enough. So you're holding an action to... holding an attack action to attempt to grapple, assuming Cad gets hostile with you.
Yeah.
While telling Oak to try to wake up the others.
Yeah, or just like go and get them, because obviously they haven't arrived yet.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, Oak is going to run over here, and he is going to pound like mad crap on the door. Yeah, that.
What, disadvantage again?
Hopefully the sound is more directed. I'll say that the sound is more directed towards you, so not disadvantage this time. Why are you rolling it with? Okay, yeah. So.
Oh, what did I roll it with? Advantage?
I think it was technically advantage, but it doesn't matter. It was the first roll, and that's good enough. So yeah, Silver, you are indeed awakened by heavy pounding on the door, and as soon as you register that, you know, someone is pounding on your door, you also register that across the hall there's also lots and lots of pounding and crashing and other stuff.
Wait, wouldn't he have stopped if he's looking at...
Cad is still, like, stomping around and causing destruction. This is, like, intermixed in with other turns and things, so... roll for me initiative, because why not?
Sure, I have no clue what's going on. She
You
just
do not.
woke up.
None of us has any clue what's going on. That is the problem.
No, so far this just thing is like, she woke up, she's gonna go to the door and be like, what do you want? I'm trying to sleep, go away.
Right, yeah. So... Locke, you are currently making your way across the block to get to the, tavern.
Yep, full dash.
And you're doing a full dash to get there. So we'll say with that, Locke, you are going to make your way into the tavern itself by the beginning of next turn, because you're getting your way here.
Alrighty.
Cad, roll me a d6. Okay. Cad is going to basically heavily clumber over the bed and over here and slam into yet another of his spectral things that's over here. Same thing as before from what Bjorn was looking at. He slams into the specter, it just sort of fades and dissipates. And are you holding to what you were doing before, Bjorn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Silver, it's your turn. You can open the door now. Okay.
If it goes up, it's unlocked, and then it opens up and be like, what? What do you want? It's the middle of the night.
It is the middle of the night, and Cat is raging for no reason again. He's destroying his room, and maybe Bjorn. I don't know.
Are you sure he's raging for no reason?
Well, he's destroying things.
Something could be hiding. Eh, give us a minute. Closes the door again.
Okay.
I can just feel the concern for our comrade emanating from that room.
Young's sleeping away, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And she still has enough movement to go over to Yang and just kind of be like, hey, get up.
What? Huh? What?
Cat is raging. He's making a mess. We gotta go clean up.
Okay.
Make me sound like an animal. Clean up after me.
Come on, gotta go pick up after Cat. Should have potty trained the guy. I'm joking.
Uh-huh.
What's the separation anxiety? We'll put the poor guy off in a room all by himself while everyone else has company.
Yeah.
That was mean of us. We are mean. We are mean people.
Doug's going back over here for his turn and checking up on Bjorn and Cad to make sure that Cad didn't like slam into him or something.
Well, is the door still there? If the door's still there, then he's fine.
And Cad, Oak, or Bjorn rather, Oak comes over to you and he's, is he destroying anything besides furniture or something?
It looks like he's trying to destroy some specters that are about.
Okay.
You don't see them?
Well, yes, I see them.
He seems to have a grudge at the moment.
Okay. Alright then. At least they look normal this time.
It's time.
They didn't the first time. He raged and was not in control, so...
I'll make a mental note of that.
Locke, you're in the tavern now, by the way.
Nice. Is there anyone else in it, or is it kind of quiet right now?
Other than the crashing and thudding upstairs you hear, it's pretty quiet.
Well, with my full dash, I can get to about here on the stairs, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Cad, roll me a d6. Same as before. There's a specter over here. You smash at it, or attempt to. Second burst or third burst, same as the first two. Smacks the specter. It sort of fades and dissipates away. Once again, there is now only one specter in the room because Cad usually summons 4.
What do they look like? Do they just look like elephant people?
To most everyone who's usually not around Loxodon, Cad's specters would usually look like just Loxodon. But sort of like how occasionally when you have a race that you don't really have a particular knowledge of, every one of them looks kind of the same, which is sort of a racist comment, but that's kind of the way it is sometimes.
Yeah.
Most everyone other than Bjorn did not pick up on the fact that Cad's specters, though they look like elephants, they also look like Cad. So he's got his spectral protectors that fly around him that are supposed to be his ancestors. Aren't his ancestors, they're him.
It was very strange.
Locke was the one that knows that when we were in the Feywild, some of them had tentacles.
Yes.
They got funky.
Yep.
Real
They were in different outfits and attire, but they were all still CAD. The different outfits is what would throw off, you guys from thinking that they were ancestors. They're in different garb, technically, but they're all still CAD in the face. Bjorn, same for your turn?
Maybe. What? The last Spectre is just kind of chilling out?
Yep, just sitting there.
He's not reacting, huh? Yeah, I guess I don't really have any skills that I think would do me any good unless I wanted to start a fight. So yeah, I'm gonna keep waiting it out.
Alright. So Young, for her turn, is, actually, supposed to be Silver first, because 18, not 19. Yeah, Silver.
If I move to that spot, would I have a clear shot at Cat?
At the current moment, he is across the room, so it would be tricky, but you could see him, yeah. If you was to do some sort of an attack, he would have cover, but if you was to do like a spell that required line of sight, you could totally do that.
And since he's raging... he's a raging barbarian.
What's on your mind, Silver?
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna go over here. So I have a range. As soon as I can see him, I'll cast Hold Person.
Yeah, nice.
So
Okay.
make a wisdom save. No, Meta Pigeon, go away. You gotta make him.
That is a 6.
Yeah, he fails. So he's stunned for a whole minute.
He's
So-
paralyzed. He is not moving or doing anything.
Yeah, so he just stops, won't do anything for a whole minute.
Okay.
Which should end his rage. If no one touches him.
This is true. No one touches him. Young comes barreling outside. She can't really get to or through the door. So, but she does notice that, like, a lot of the loud noises and crashing had stopped, and she's
Mid swing at something? I don't know. Is he like mid swing or something? I don't know.
He had just dissipated the spirit that was near him, so he's kind of mid swingish, but now he's just sort of frozen. The maul sort of held aloft. Got him, Silver? I guess you got him. He's not doing anything.
Well, the thing is, if we're doing turns, he can keep making wisdom saves. But if he's the only one not doing if it's just him that we're dealing with, then he's frozen for up to a whole minute.
Right, yeah. So it's concentration up to a minute, so technically up to 10 rounds, assuming we continue to go through rounds.
Right.
So Oak, Young's gonna sort of hang back and not do anything, not wanting to mess up what's going on. Oak is the idea being here that if I'm going to continue with turns because Cad is frozen with paralyze, but if Cad succeeds on the wisdom, is it at the end of? It's at the end of each of his turns.
Yeah.
So he would lose his rage, but then at the end of his turn, he gets a wisdom save to not be paralyzed anymore. Because he's not going to be able to attack anything and wouldn't be attacking someone in the turn in which his whole person thing is there. And there's no one immediately hostile, which is the only other thing that we've established that sort of house ruling that Cad can keep a rage going, assuming that there's some sort of hostility in the air, regardless of if he actually has anything to attack. Because we've done that sort of thing before. But, so Oak, I'm going to give Oak a perception check. Right, quick. His perception check of huge. Sort of taking a better look around the room. 29. So Oak sort of looks around the room and at Cad. And the room is mostly destroyed. It's as if Oak sort of tells everyone else that's like, I don't know if the specters were just hovering over objects and then he just destroyed the objects, but it wasn't just the specters he was attacking. He was attacking objects too. Like that table over there and one of the chairs. And I don't know exactly what's going on per se, but maybe stopping his rage will stop him. I hope. And then Locke, you have your turn.
I'm continuing up. Let's see here, so...
You see your friends in the hallway over
there. We're under attack!
You only have 50 feet of movement?
I'd used the original 10 covering the rest of the stairs on the previous floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we under attack? What's going on?
No.
Ow, my legs.
Cad's throwing a fit for some reason.
Huh?
Yeah, he's throwing a fit for some reason. We don't know. Right now he's having a little timeout.
Alright. So, with Cad, his rage goes away, technically, because no hostility. Wisdom save, to see if he's not paralyzed anymore. Yeah.
He snaps out of it.
Okay, so Bjorn, you were closest to him, and you sort of see him, sort of, it's like he's pulling at invisible chains, and he's, and then,
oh, he's loose.
all of his specters come back because he rages again.
At the end of his turn?
He bonus action rages. Oh yeah, it's at the end. He wouldn't have his rage yet. You're right.
Okay.
Cad, darn, it's at your end of your turn. Darn. Okay, yeah. Bjorn, doing anything with your turn?
So Cad's not raging, so...
Yeah.
Nope. He seems to be standing in the middle of the room. His trunk, which is usually held aloft when he's, in battle mode and things, just sort of hanging low, and his head is down.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to him. Sort of like the one hand on the shoulder, kind of try to look at his face, like, "Hey, buddy, you feeling all right? What's going on?"
I suppose technically this would be a medicine check.
Ooh, medicine. I don't think I have anything in that.
Probably not.
I was wrong. This is a good deal.
I was wrong. Damn, he's got a 6. Fuck.
Wow, you got a 6 in medicine? The crap?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, I know why. It's your military days.
Yep.
As a
That makes
paladin with military soldiers, you are a functional combat medic. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'll roll with it.
So you sort of give him a look over, and shush. So you sort of give him a look over and sort of tapping him on the shoulder to see if he's okay and other things. And you notice with the way he's breathing, his breathing is, for all of his like fervor and rage that he was doing, and the groan when he pulled out of the hold person and stuff like that, his breathing's even. He is oddly calm. And you sort of get a chance to get his face turned up to look at you. You realize his eyes are closed.
Oh, he's sleepwalking.
He's not even been awake this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, I would like to see if I can't, without being rough, of course, try to shake him awake. See if I can't get his attention.
Waking up a sleepwalker.
Well,
Tomato cage.
I mean, it's either that or I guess I guide him back to the bed and hope he doesn't freak out again.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, well, let's see if we can make that work then. Sort of lead him back to the bed.
So, yeah, you're attempting to sort of lead him back to the bed to see if he can sort of calm himself back down.
Yeah.
Make for me a dexterity save, please.
That doesn't sound safe. Okay.
Nice. So you're sort of easing Cad back towards the bed to get him to lay back down, and obviously at this point, subconsciously, Cad has his grip on Envy, and it comes swinging over your head, and you duck down, and he didn't hit you.
Nice. Okay.
Silver. That's all I'm going to give you for your turn, since it's still combat.
That's fair. That's fair.
Silver, you see all this, though there's an oak somewhat in the way.
I'm just gonna push past them. Like, excuse me, pardon me.
Yep.
And she's going to grab the maul. She's going to try to take it from him.
Oh. Make for me, I guess this would technically be a contested strength check, because...
Which I'm probably gonna lose.
Yeah, contested strength check, sure.
12.
I said check, not save. So, boop. Yeah, no. You come in.
Can I just grapple it then?
You were making a move to grab at his blade, or at his maul, and to disarm him, right?
Yeah.
So you have effectively now grabbed a hold of his maul, because he's not letting go.
Okay.
I'll give you some other things reasonably so for you to do with your turn, but other than that, you're sort of donezo.
Yep, that's it. You're like, give me this.
Young will come in and see you dealing with this, and she's... Any idea what is wrong? What? I mean, the specters are gone. He's not raging. He seems calm-ish, other than throwing the weapon around. Which, Locke, you're hearing this conversation.
Right.
No one has registered that he was asleep, because no one's seen that other than you, Bjorn.
Alright. Yeah, I'll call that up. I'm not sure. He seems to be asleep. Well, he's fighting something in his dreams, perhaps.
Wait, you tell me he's asleep?
Yes. His eyes are closed and everything.
Have you tried slapping him?
Not as of yet.
Oak sort of steps in.
That would be We'll say that's Plan B.
Oak sort of takes a step in as you guys are talking about this for his turn, and he's like, I've heard of sleepwalking, but sleep raging? What?
Maybe he's having a nightmare.
Then I will give a turn to you, Locke.
Okay, hearing all this, I'm gonna park Locke right here. I have line of sight to Cad, right?
You do.
Okay, I am going to take a look at the elephant guy that I'm good friends with, feel a lot of concern, and I am going to use Awakened Mind and form a link with Cad.
Give me a wisdom save.
Oh, shit.
All you hear is screaming.
All you hear is country music.
11?
You
Take
you
me
can't
home.
seem to make the link work. Something's blocking you.
Something's got a hold of him. This isn't normal. I can't form a link with him. I'm going to. I assume that counted as like an instant action or free action or whatever we call it.
Bonus. Close enough, yeah.
In that case, I will use detect magic.
Okay. As your action
I mean,
for the
it's-
turn, you're doing detect magic.
Yep, I'm using detect magic to see if I can figure out what in the heck he is afflicting him.
Okay. So with your detect magic up and active, you do not see or feel anything different about the magic in the room. The only sorts of magic pings that you get is with everyone's individual magic weapons, which you already know about.
Maybe someone could try a greater restoration. Do we have that spell?
You have lesser restoration, but not greater restoration.
Yeah, I
Some
don't
sort of
have that.
restoration.
And it is now Cad's turn.
Uh
It would probably need to be greater.
So, as you are attempting to, thank you. You knew to roll a d6. You knew to roll a d6. Good to know. So you Cad goes into rage again, and he will roll a d6. Roll for me a d3.
D3. We're getting archaic now.
Wow. Right on both of them.
A d6 and a 6, and rolled a d3 and a 3.
Mm-hmm. That means I'm winning, right?
Ooh!
Ooh, ooh.
Oh,
Well, if
Yeah.
memory is on that.
What did
Apparently
you
I'm
hit?
winning.
Oh, I hope that's
Do
not
I
me.
have to make a contested save?
Um,
Because I am trying to grapple his weapon.
that's a good point. Make a strength save, Silver.
Strength save?
Or a strength check, rather. Yeah, strength check.
Okay. Nope.
Oh my god!
Who does he hit?
Did I roll my strength thing?
It doesn't
doesn't
matter.
seem-
I got a 1.
You got a 5. So, yeah.
Nat 1.
Yeah, well, nat 1s doesn't really matter unless it's an attack roll. So, that was, he rolled a d3 and it was a 3. Oh, no wonder it didn't roll. I didn't click the thing to actually roll. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, Silver,
Yeah.
geschmack.
Ouch!
Oh, that's what?
That is
5 damage?
25 damage, yes.
26.
That's 26.
No, 25. 26. Never mind.
Yeah, 26.
I can math, guys, I swear.
You just got 26'd.
As a reaction, can I like send my specter things to protect her?
No. But they are back.
Ugh.
By the way,
Everything has gone wrong and we don't know why.
for sake of thing, Boop, Boop.
Okay. These are the specters, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Boop.
I've always been picturing the specters as looking like freaking. I've always been imagining them as looking kind of like just really tiny chibi elephants that just dance around them like the unicorns that Jester has in Critical Role.
He's not a cleric though.
You mean like the hefflumps in Winnie the Pooh?
I mean, yeah. That's where she gets her inspiration from. So, yeah, the specters are back. Silver, you get 26 bit. Bjorn, what are you doing for your turn? He is not laying down now.
No, definitely not.
He is actually staring at Silver with his eyes closed, but staring at Silver.
Okay.
By the way, as soon as his specters come back, all of them shift, and now they're not looking off into the distance like they were before. They're now all looking towards the door.
Towards the
door out of the room.
Yes. I have a suspicion. Does it look like they're looking at Locke?
Would this be perception or insight?
It would be perception. Insight is for like determining like motives or
yeah. So
if someone's
perception.
lying to you.
So perception?
Yep, give me perception.
Okay.
It's sort of hard to read, but based on actually, you would have a vague idea of what you're looking for, so I'll say you can get another roll for advantage on that.
Okay. I will take it.
10 again.
Well, the 10s have it.
Yep.
It's very hard to read, but especially considering there's Oak in the way, it might be they're looking at Locke, but they might be looking at Oak too, and Oak's much bigger, so it's kind of harder to determine.
Okay, so I'm going to do two things from here. I'm going to call out Oak, Locke. I don't know which of you, but I think the specters are paying attention to one of you specifically. And having said that, I want to follow on what Silver was trying to do and see if I can't get that damn ball out of his hands.
Contested strength check.
Okay. Coming
Disarm.
right on up. Oh boy.
Which he now gets advantage on because he's rated. Boop.
Yep.
Ag nabbit.
So, that is...
Well, that's...
That sort of sums up Bjorn's turn, I think.
Yep, that about does it.
It's over.
Ow.
Yeah, ow.
Very ow.
I mean, it sort of makes sense. He seemed all nice and calm. He tried to get a grip on his weapon. He now pulls the weapon away and smacks you in the face.
I'm just gonna walk this way now.
You know what? She's just gonna go up and hit him.
Okay.
Just straight up smack him across the face.
Alright, you get
You
advantage.
get advantage if you yell, "Who's your daddy?" at the time.
Well, the thing is, she doesn't want to use her sword.
Are you gonna smack him with your hand?
Yes.
I mean, sure. Okay.
She's just gonna sit there and punch him and yell at him to wake the fuck up.
Okay. Your attack roll is technically advantage. I just forgot to roll his reckless earlier, but it didn't matter because he got a crit. So.
Okay. I know it's deep.
You can just roll a general attack with your sword and say it's with your fist. It would have the same. It would have the same proficiency bonuses and things because unless your sword gets you a +1 from being a magical sword, it'd be the same attack roll.
It'd still be strength based. The damage would be what's different.
It's not like you're suddenly not proficient with an unarmed strike just because you're not a monk. you can still unarmed strike. It's just you're not gonna hit hard.
Good point, yeah. Well, what do you mean I'm not proficient? So I wouldn't get the proficiency bonus. So it's
Yeah, you
just
will.
D20 plus 4.
Yeah, you will.
I would? Okay. 19. Does that hit?
Yeah, it would. I think. AC of like 17 or something.
Damage D4.
Damage would be your strength. Yeah, 4.
Oh wait, just straight up 4 or D4 plus my strength?
It is just a straight up 4 with your not when you're not proficient with unarmed stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So 4 to the gut of the elephant man. Kaput.
Not to the gut, to the
The
face.
face.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah,
square
she's
between
gonna-
the eyes.
Yeah, and if need be, she'll do it again.
You would have a second attack, yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't get advantage on it, would I?
Yep, you
I
will.
would?
It's
The way
all attack.
reckless attack works is you are not guarding yourself, so you get advantage, but all opponents do too.
17?
17 misses.
Damn it. Okay.
Cad. Make
Yes.
For, yes, you. Make for me a wisdom save with advantage. You still don't get the bonus from silver, technically.
Wisdom save.
With advantage.
Let me take my character sheet back from you.
Hey, I didn't take it anywhere.
Open wider. There we go. You said wisdom save.
Wisdom
Not
save.
at advantage?
Yes, at advantage. Yes.
Yes, at advantage. Okay. Whoosh.
17. Good thing you had advantage with a 4 there. Okay. So,
I don't know.
yeah, you're having this nice, pleasant dream, Cat. A little bit ago.
Yay.
You're in a nice field of flowers, and it's very pretty, and then now there's a thunderstorm going on, and it's you're not quite sure what's going on with this peaceful dream that's suddenly not peaceful anymore. And you hear way off in the distance this very distant echo that sounds just slightly like silver. That's like, wake up!
Oh, with a lot of cursing.
Cursing in front of all of these flowers. How dare you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so, Yong.
Okie dokie.
So, we're hitting him now? Are we trying to snap out of it by hitting him? Oh, also, it was 4 damage that you did with your strength, right?
Yeah, I guess it was just 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's technically 2. So what, should I smack him a couple times? Maybe try to stun him? Can you stun someone to sleep?
No,
Yeah,
I just need him to wake up. If he's asleep.
Yeah. Okay, so... This is gonna show up as her spike gauntlet, but that's not what she's technically attacking with. 11 doesn't hit. She has extra attack. 17 doesn't hit. Flurry of blows.
Nope.
15 doesn't hit.
Oh no.
22. There we go.
But I'm lucky. Right?
Oh, you didn't
I don't
like
know.
it.
Don't help the dungeon master here.
I feel conflicted.
Is he waking
Cat,
up?
let us beat you up.
17 no. Okay. So you're decidedly lucky, and Young's decidedly not. Oaks,
Wait, a 22 didn't hit?
Lucky made it a 17.
Oh.
So, yeah, Oak sort of eyes the specters and the fact that Silver got hit really hard, and it's like, we want to wake him up. Do we want to subdue him? What are we doing? And he's going to sort of make his way, like, he's going to attempt very gingerly to go past this specter, hoping that it doesn't do anything crazy, and it doesn't. And Cat, what can it do? Useful. I suppose we can't put him to sleep again. He's already asleep.
It does leave us but one seeming way to go.
If you put someone who's sleepwalking to sleep, wouldn't they be dreaming about being asleep?
Sure. Go with that.
I don't know.
That sounds like Inception to me.
Isn't that like the premise of that entire movie?
Basically. Or at least it's the mechanic of it.
Actually, yeah. He's gonna go... He'd have to go all the way around the room through 4 different specters to get to Silver, so ignore that cure wound. He's at a loss of really what to do. Locke, the one that he just passed, didn't pay any attention to Oak, and is now looking directly at you.
Okay, so one of the specters was looking at me.
The one that can see you through the door is. The others are trying to, but there's a wall in the way and people.
Okay, I'm gonna do something weird. I'm going to try and establish an awakened mind link with that specter.
That's interesting. Make an Arcana roll. As opposed to a Wisdom save.
Very-
Arcana roll.
Very well. Give me a moment here to pull up a sheet. 17.
Okay. You, in fact, do establish a link, I suppose.
All right. And I will immediately ask, what is going on?
You hear... You don't get a voice back. It's similar to, like, when you, established waking minds with, like, animals or something you weren't sure what it was. It's not something that has any degree of intelligence that can respond. It's something, but it's not something with an intelligence that can speak.
Woof.
If it knows at least one language, but does it convey anything to me? Even just feelings or anything at all?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you that one. It does have one very, very prevalent emotion. Or desire, I should say. Not emotion, but desire.
And that is...
To capture you.
Alright. Upon feeling that, Locke's gonna get a whole new cold sweat running down his back, and he's immediately going to look at Cad, or Wind's like, sorry man, and he's going to cast Blight at 5th level on Cad.
Cad?
Not trying to kill him, just trying to get him to get the hell down.
Okay.
So,
What is that?
So-
Constitution save?
yep, spell save DC 15. He's gonna take damage either way. Let's see here, so it'll be 98.
I will do a con save then. Good. Because rage doesn't give you advantage on that one.
Well, he still takes 98 divided by 2, so
9d8 divided by 2.
that's what I said.
Yeah. So 18.
So-
And
Yeah.
once I've done that, and then after that, Locke is going to back up.
So, Cad,
Just muttering, fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking hell, under his breath.
Cad, you're in this nice little field of flowers. You heard that distant voice of like cursing and wake up, and you almost felt like you heard the sounds of Yong like whiffing punches again, and then all of a sudden, all the field of flowers all around you all just suddenly die, and the screen goes dark, or the like sky goes dark. The storm stops, and you are racked with a sudden hint of pain. And the spirits go away, and you wake up.
Yeah.
Combat over. And you would technically take that 18 damage on your thing there. I just did mark it on your sheet.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Boop.
Is it morning already? Why is everyone in my room? Good morning.
Well, my friend, you seem to have thrown an impromptu party.
I'm glad you were all invited. Wait, who threw the party? What?
You did.
Oh, and also at this point, Silver, who's been trying to pull at your maul to get it out of your hands, and Bjorn, his grip isn't heavily on his maw as he's waking up anymore, so... Whichever one of you really, really wanted to make sure you had it can have it.
Can Silver have it? She's really mad.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Just like taking it, like, give me this. And then she just goes and like, my face. Ow.
Oh yeah.
What?
For what it's worth, Cad, Silver's face is very bloody right now.
No.
Which, cure wounds, by the way.
Hey, how much?
What happened? Silver, what?
She just gestures at the rest of the party and be like, you guys explain.
Yeah, Bjorn will give him a quick rundown on basically what happened. Get him up to speed real quick.
12 HP for you, Silver.
Hey.
Cat'll like back up and sit on the foot of the bed and like hang his head in shame. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Flowers and thunderstorms and I don't know. Sorry.
Well, Bjorn will kind of go hang out, sit on the bed next to him, and be like, pat him on the back. Hey, don't worry about it. Nothing permanent was done.
He looks up at Silver's face. He looks back down.
I just got healed.
Mm.
When you were out of it, I tried to form a link with you, my telepathic thing, and I couldn't. Something was completely blocking me off. I was able to get a link going with one of your specters, and it didn't say anything, but I could tell what its intentions were, and for some reason, your specters had the intention of capturing me.
Capturing or protecting?
I'm pretty sure capturing. Whatever it was that took a hold of your mind just a minute ago, it was after me and it was trying to get at me through you. I think, maybe, I don't know. And all this right on the tail end of one of the freakiest dreams I've ever had.
I thought I was just sleeping. It's exhausting being abroad, and it was nice finally being home and being able to sleep.
Well, evidently something took advantage of that relaxation.
You are still very tired, Cat. It's almost like a lot of your vitality just got sucked out of you.
from the like blighted field of flowers and
Uh-huh.
angry storming silver in the sky or something. Okay.
Oak's like, well, maybe we just make sure to get some rest and chalk this up to just, I guess, sleep raging. Maybe keep an eye on Cad. Make sure it doesn't happen again. We don't really know what warranted it other than just maybe being very exhausted.
Something from afar did it to him. This isn't just a case of exhaustion. Just straight up, something invaded his mind. Or at the very least was making his body act without his consent.
Then
I
we
can
should.
say that with utmost confidence. I can't say what specifically, my magic isn't that advanced. But if that wasn't the case, my ability to communicate telepathically wouldn't have been so thoroughly blocked.
Is there any way we could determine who did it or from where?
Not that I know of. You could maybe bring it to my mother's attention.
Seems worth a shot.
Does Alessandra have a like confessional counseling couch that you lay back on and
No, but she has magic. A lot of
oh,
it.
same thing. Sure.
Just say same thing.
She can get to the bottom of what's wrong in my brain and charge me a lot of money.
Young would just
I was about to ask if there was like a doctor or something I could go to, but then I was like, that sounds stupid.
Young's just gonna sort of place her hand on Silver's shoulder and it's like, let's just go back to bed.
Go back to bed. I'm gonna hang on to this.
Um,
Fine.
you want to hide it or put it in your bag of holding for safekeeping?
Yes.
Without looking up from like the spot on the floor exactly between his feet, he just slowly nods once.
Okay. See you in the morning, buddy.
Back to the bed. So, Oak sort of looks between Bjorn and Locke and it's like, do we want to... Who wants to be the one to keep an eye on him?
Normally I would volunteer, but given what I sensed, I don't think that's a good idea.
I can sit the night. I've had enough sleep.
Alright.
Okay.
And I can bellow quite loudly if I need to get help.
Can you match the trumpeting of a Loxodon horn, though?
I suspect if he starts trumpeting, I won't have to, but
That is very good.
you never know.
Alright. And Oak sort of will tap Cad's shoulder before he leaves the room and it's just like, and don't beat yourself up. We'll figure this out, okay?
Same as before, he doesn't look up from the floor, he just does a single slow nod.
And Oak will retire to go to sleep. I don't know if there's anything that wants to be discussed with the rest of you.
Well, Silver's already gone to bed, so the thing Locke was going to do is out the window until tomorrow, so he's going to head back to the library.
Alright.
And Bjorn will just chill out. If Cad decides he wants to talk, Bjorn will do so, but he'll let Cad have his space. Maybe offer him some of my mead.
He would probably respectfully decline and just sort of sit there, sort of feeling rather low.
Fair enough.
Eventually, Cad, you do fall back asleep again, and this time around, your dreams don't really seem to be of anything in particular. Usually, when you dream, you don't really dream of major things or have nightmares a whole lot or anything of that sort. You're one of the types that more consistently dreams of nothing rather than dreaming of something. So your dreams are peaceful as much as you can tell.
I dream about laying in a bed trying to sleep.
I mean, yeah, that's not far off. So, yeah, you fall asleep for the night. Everyone can get their full rest and their spells and things back. Silver, you're healed now. Hooray!
Hey.
It is now probably mid to late afternoon. Well, no, I'd say early afternoon by the time people woke up, because your sleep sort of got interrupted. So to get a full night's rest, you're gonna have to make up for it a little bit. So Silver's not necessarily as bright and chipper as she usually is in the morning. But yeah, going back to Yuki map. Alrighty. So, Cad, if you would, make for me a, actually it wouldn't, make for me a Constitution save. 21. Okay. You sleep rather heavily and peacefully and all that, and yeah.
Yay.
Bjorn, if you sort of keep to Cad's room the entire night, not really going back to sleep again yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's sleeping rather soundly. I would imagine that if Cad snores, snoring from a Loxodon would be slightly loud. But
Fair enough. That's a fair
Other than-
assumption.
other than that, he sleeps rather soundly. And then morning comes around. Cad, you were still asleep.
Okay. You said everyone woke up at, like, afternoon?
Yeah, everyone generally would wake up in the afternoon. Save Cad. He still seems to be asleep.
Mm.
What do I need? A con save a 29 to wake up?
Not that high. You're just very tired and got blight spelled.
Good, yeah.
It's like what
Yeah.
happens in your dream happens in the real world, or wait, no, backwards.
Something like that. Silver, you and
My brain got blighted. Did everything just taste purple for a second?
ha. So yeah. Oak will wake up, go in and check with Cad and Bjorn. Sees that he's still asleep. Bjorn, you're pretty vigilant most of the time, so I wouldn't see you as that guard that, nods off. Plus, like you said, you did get some decent sleep yourself prior. So you're not too far off. Yong and Silver, you guys wake up, finally getting your full night's rest and all that fun stuff. Silver, what is your immediate course of action upon waking up?
Huh?
What are you going to do upon waking up? Finally getting a full night's rest.
She's just gonna go down to the bar area.
Okay, fair enough. Yang will follow you. You see the normal, the barmaid, and the Vidalcan blue, proprietor of the bar itself is downstairs. And was there a bit of commotion last night? We heard something, but at least this time half the tavern didn't get destroyed. So,
How much does your furniture usually cost?
oh,
Like a couple of nightstands and what else was destroyed in the room?
nightstand, chair and like a bedside table.
That's a nightstand.
Well, same. Yeah, I guess it would technically be chair, nightstand.
A chair, a nightstand, and a day stand.
Shit. A chair, a nightstand, and probably like a few boxes or other such little knickknacks that was in the room. Nothing majorly expensive, and it wasn't like super well crafted either. So, he's like, not a whole lot. We can generally get a shield buff for his dad to rebuild the stuff. I mean, they sort of helped rebuild the furniture that was destroyed when the building blew up, so that's something. It's not like we're some fancy place like Rydale or Caberton or something where we're going to charge you extra for a night just because you destroyed part of the building. But you didn't destroy part of the building, just a few pieces of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of just holds up his hands and it's like, and if the details of that wish to be shared, they can be. Otherwise, no harm done. He sort of eyes his human companion that's the barmaid's. We're accustomed to a few secrets that need to be kept, so. I don't know. I'm assuming Silver probably does, but I don't know if Sam does remember the secret about the barmaid. But
I know she has gills.
yeah, there you go. Wasn't sure if you remembered that tidbit.
Fish.
Fish.
Um,
Things are very fishy here.
but anyway, yeah. So Yong and Silver are downstairs. You guys get you some, I guess, a late breakfast, early lunch kind of thing, because of the time frame of waking back up. Oak does eventually make his way downstairs. Bjorn, are you going to stay with the sleeping cat, or are you just going to let him sleep and come downstairs?
I'll let him sleep and head downstairs. Bjorn's getting kind of hungry.
Fair enough. You would especially smell the makings of breakfast. So.
Oh yeah, as soon as any sort of cooking smell finds its way upstairs, Bjorn falls to the dark side and heads out.
Yeah. As soon as food smell finds its way upstairs, Bjorn finds his way downstairs.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly correct.
Alright, so, yeah. Bjorn and Oak come downstairs to meet you guys. Alright, so, yeah. Oak is, well, whatever it was messing with Cad, at least he's not doing anything now. He just seems to be sleeping a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
What are we planning to do for the day? He sort of looks at Silver, because Locke's not here.
I don't know.
Yong pipes up, well, we do have that turtle that we wanted to try to talk to if he's awake.
I thought it was deemed that there was no way to communicate with him.
I mean, he's probably not going to tell us anything, but there's no reason we can't talk to him.
But Locke's mom said the spell.
She had said that the spell would knock him out for probably a while, but...
Well, as soon as Locke wakes up, I would then immediately go and find Mama.
Yep, she is in the library as per the usual.
Hey.
Seems to be studying in her books and things, being a wizard and whatnot.
Yep. Hey.
Hmm?
Something happened last night. For one thing, I had a really funky dream, but I can get to that a little later. But more than that, over at the inn and tavern, something happened with Cad. And I give her the rundown of what I know of what happened.
That is most certainly strange.
I know for a fact something was influencing him from afar. There's no other explanation that I know of, at least.
Well, I suppose I could look into it, see what I could figure out.
I'd appreciate it.
You did say that you did detect magic on the room and didn't feel anything, right?
Right.
Hmm.
So either it was something not necessarily arcane, or that whatever spell that did it was cast very far away and is very subtle in its machinations.
I see. Well, all we can do is take a look, see if we can figure anything out. We do still have the turtle to speak to as well once he wakes up, which I haven't used that spell in a very long time, so I'm not entirely sure how long he's going to be out. He is not dying, and if you guys wanted to interrogate him, you are free to do so, I suppose, assuming shield buff let you do so.
My priority right now is Cad.
I mean, yes, of course. Also, side note, the bow. I did mention that the turtle had a bow. You couldn't get his weapon, but you got his bow. Silver still has his bow, yes?
Sitting in. No.
I think so. I honestly wasn't paying that much attention to what the weapons were doing. I was rattled by the fact that the first thing that happened when we got home was we got attacked.
Fair. And that was me at DM asking, not Alessandro. But anyway.
No. Same diff.
So,
the answer still works.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, you and Alessandro will then make your way back to the tavern then.
Well,
And you come in, you see all your friends. I need to change that token, but I'll do that later. You will see all your friends downstairs, aside from Cad, who is still upstairs asleep. And Alessandro will look between all of you and... Well, I suppose best we could do is just take a look. See if I can figure anything out. I don't know if it is some sort of magic something. I'm a more powerful mage than my son, of course, but I don't know what we can figure out. Detect magic is usually the go-to thing, so we shall see.
Locke puts on the sort of indignant pout. Doesn't say anything, he just pouts.
Oh, I'm just teasing you. Now, come on.
You're technically right.
And does everyone follow, or is it just Alessandra and Locke go upstairs to the cat room?
Bjorn will follow him up. Wants to know what's going on.
Oak will do so as well.
What
about
about
the girls?
Silva?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alrighty. So, everyone returns upstairs. Cat is still sleeping soundly. Snoring rather softly for a Loxodon.
Vishna.
I'm sure that's not how a snore sounds like. But anyway. So, Alessandra will just sort of look him over and sort of wave her hand to do detect magic as before, see if she sees anything, and like with Locke, all she really gets is the magic weapons that are immediately visible in the room, which would not include those that are in the bag of holding. And yeah, Alessandra might know if the other players do, but Daniel, the DM, does not know whether or not there is another spell that she could potentially use here that may be of help. Right off the top of my head.
Commune with elephant.
Well, if I had access to any spell I wanted, I think there's a spell for removing curses, isn't there?
Yeah,
That
but
would be my go-to try just to see if anything stuck.
You need a greater restoration. Oh, we need your dad here.
I mean, we could potentially get my dad. We're back in Yukiegi now, so.
I know
Throw
for
him on
one
a
that I'm not totally
cart, let's
comfortable
go.
traveling again when one of our party could sporadically turn aggressive at any moment.
Well,
Well-
this is true, but I could also message my dad and get him to come here. Assuming he's not super busy with the temple or anything.
Right, that's what I figured. If we can get him here and get Cad looked at in a timely manner and get whatever's wrong with him sorted out, that would be ideal.
Okay. What variant of spell is Remove Curse? Let's see if she actually has it.
By the way, David, Remove Curse would be a 3rd level paladin spell.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I just looked it up in the rulebook.
You kidding me?
Yep, it's a
Whether
third
or
level
not that
paladin.
Son of a bitch. There it is.
Whether or not it would be powerful enough for this particular curse, so that's
Well, let me read it here. Oh, did you just post it in chat? No. Okay.
That was just Cad casting Ice Unsnore.
I will put. I'll just throw it out real quick.
Do you actually have potential to have that prepared?
I mean, I can change my spells day to day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the morning. So we would have to wait a day for you to change it.
So I could
Then
just.
again, he rested after
Yeah.
the thing. Would he be able to prepare it during that time?
Like I would think so, right?
You technically could have, yeah.
Yeah. So now feeling kind of silly, Bjorn will be like, I know how to remove curses.
So Bjorn is no, Alessandro's like, I don't really know of anything that I perhaps could use other than detect magic that could perhaps be of useful. I didn't really prepare any kind of remove curse or something of the sort. And then that clicks in Bjorn's head and it's like, wait a minute, I could have done that. I did do that.
I know that spell. I might be able to give that a try. I feel rather silly for not thinking of it before.
Thank you, Player's Handbook.
Good call. Good call. So yeah, Bjorn will go.
I was thinking because I remember I had a conversation with a buddy of mine a ways back where he was lamenting how absolutely nerfed curses are in 5th edition compared to other role-playing games where like getting a curse or removing a curse is a really big fucking deal. In 5th edition, there's a 3rd level spell that does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. And Bjorn goes ahead and gives it a try.
Alright, so you will reach out and touch a cat on the shoulder or some such and cast Remove Curse. There is, I can't quite remember exactly what we determined would be the, general association of how Bjorn's magic worked. It was usually, nature-ish in theme because he had that whole, protecting the nature and caring about,
They may be leaning into a mossy forest motif.
Yeah.
Because he's got the elk and such.
Yeah. So it's almost druidic the way you do Remove Curse, but not quite.
Yeah.
And so this wave of magic sort of flows over Cad and he glows for a little bit and then settles. You can't really determine immediately if anything happened, but because Remove Curse doesn't necessarily
Yeah. It doesn't specify that it tells me if it works or not.
if the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed and discarded. So, you remove curse doesn't necessarily tell you whether or not it actually did anything, but your magic went through and seemed to work, as far as you could tell.
Okay, so at the very least, nothing stopped it from going off.
Yes.
Okay.
Cat is still sick though.
No, that is the best bet Bjorn's got.
Alessandra's sort of racking her brain for a moment, and she's just I don't know precisely what it would be immediately.
Well,
He
we
doesn't seem.
have a library a few block or so away, so maybe we could search through your collection and see if we can find any clues there.
Maybe. It would help if we knew anything more about it, and all really we have is that it seems to target you. She looks at Locke. It seems to target you, and it's some connection between the two of you, I would imagine.
And it controlled him while he was asleep.
Right.
Did Cad happen to describe to any of us what dreams it was he had while that was going on?
He did loosely mention they dreamed of an open field. I don't know if that was in character or not.
It totally was in character.
Yep. So
That being said, there's only one individual I can think of that we are aware of who ticks any of the boxes we're dealing with here. A vested interest in me, dominion over dreams. Dahlia. Who else could it be?
I mean,
While we were in the Feywild, I know she had her eyes on me. She was actively trying to wrest me away from Vindsvept. Our time in the Feywild screwed with all of us in some capacity. That was back when Cad first went berserk on us. Maybe she left something in him. I don't know. I doubt she's the sort to give up on a target so easily, though.
it's true. And I suppose she would need that's a reasonable assumption, I suppose.
That's all I've got. It's the only deduction I can make.
The only question is, what can we do about it? Other than what you're immediately wanting to do anyway. Says
Well, aside from
Alessandra.
aside from continuing to try and get Dahlia's power here, we can stop Noro from whatever the hell it is he's trying to do. I don't know. We still have a couple of shrines that we missed, don't we?
I
You
thought we got them all.
you were initially told of specific shrines to go to, and you did get all the ones that you were told about.
Yeah. So my
guess-
current questing saying destroying shrines devoted to
Yeah.
Dahlia, Saglin's Bluffin, and the Forest New Muzachad is now outdated.
Technically, yeah. We do still have Ulara to go to, again, the Duragar, and maybe she can give us some more insight of how we can find Noro and Oak, sort of like. And if he's messing with Cad, messing with you, or well, if she's messing with Cad, messing with you, and has done everything that she's done to me, through Noro at least, I kind of want to see if we can find him. Take it out at the source.
That would be good. And as long as we're on the topic of dreams and funky things like that, there is actually something tertiarily related that's sprung up.
No?
Yeah, last night I had one of my chats with Vindsvept.
Oh,
It was-
how'd that go?
Well, it was a lot different than usual. He seemed strained, in pain almost, like he was struggling with something. Rapid fire, he showed me a series of visions of things that I had asked after during our time up in Iban. I got to see how Riven is doing, for example. I got to see...
Who is this Riven?
She's the old friend I've told you about before, the one who
Oh,
due to
right.
some complications with her background. She seems to be doing fine. Hollis is doing good.
Hollis?
A direwolf pup that we had. He's gotten quite big. But anyways, that is so meta and I love it. Every time. But anyways.
Yep. Anyway.
And then I also had a bit of a moment where I saw something relating to what my dad is doing, though it's still about as vague and cryptic as one can get. All I really got out of it is the name of the of the woman he's been traveling with. This Vanya, I think it was. I don't really know a whole lot about that person. Other than she's currently...
Upon you saying Vanya with Alessandra in the room, she's like, right, that's maybe something we need to discuss later on. Not in mixed company.
That puts a very unpleasant feeling in my gut, but alright. Well, as long as we're on the subject of unpleasantness, the last one... Gonna look over at Silver. Has to do with you.
What?
Back while we were still up in Aban, I asked Vindsvept to show me something, anything useful in regards to what's going on with your temple and the things happening there. And he did. I saw two people. I saw the woman with the fiery hair you've mentioned, Ruin, I think it's how it's pronounced, her name? And another individual, an armored man who seemed to be in her service, named Balthier.
Should've known.
I don't know the context. I assume you'll share when it's relevant. That said, Ruin noticed that I was observing her. I don't know how. I didn't make any effort to make myself known, but she knew I was there, knew I was watching, and she knew that I have connections to you, because she asked me to pass on a message. Out of character, I don't remember the specific wording.
Oh, that she hopes that Silver will come soon. Hold on. I think I have it typed somewhere.
You do. Hold on.
Someone does. Not me, though.
I do. Oh, that she misses the little play dates and wish for Silver to come back home soon.
Yeah, Locke will recite that with this very clearly disgusted look on his face as he forces the words past his lips.
Okay.
Specifically to come
Then-
back home soon.
Yes.
Then after that, I was back in front of Vindsvept, but it looked like he was fighting something. And I couldn't tell what one before he booted me out of the dream. Actually, I'm going to lift up my hand and summon up a swirl of the Eldritch Blast energy around my hand and see if it looks any different.
If you're looking it over it, if you're looking over it intently or just sort of glancing at it, I'll give it your choice. Perception, investigation.
I am being very, very intent right now. Locke is
Okay.
concerned that something may have happened. The conversations we've had so far has given him a very, very bad hunch, and he's very intently looking.
So investigation then.
Investigation. 8. Fucking.
Looks about the same.
Does it feel any different?
No.
Does it smell any different?
It's
You're
Eldritch
asleep.
Blast. It doesn't smell.
Mr. Person with keen sense of smell, you're asleep, so it doesn't matter.
I'll let the energy disperse. Well, that's all I've got from that end.
Alright. Well,
What's our next move?
I would say that this is Oak talking. Well, if we're going to chill here for a couple days, maybe see if I can get my dad to come by and see if he can look into CAD and see if there's anything different. I don't wager that a higher level greater restoration would remove anything else that could be possible other than a curse, but maybe.
It's worth being thorough, I think.
Yeah. And he sort of looks at Bjorn, and he's like, And this way you could meet him in person instead of just seeing him in a dream.
Yes, indeed.
If I could get him away from the temple and he's not too busy anyway.
Why don't we just load him up in a cart and go there? 'Cause don't we have to go talk to...
The Duragar.
No. Well, the Durgar. That's in another place. I was talking about over at the, Misty Village.
I mean, we could go to Misty Village if we wanted to.
Don't we have to talk to your sister? The one that has the little store shop.
Gretchen? What about her?
I thought Gretchen was the small one.
Gretchen is the
Yeah,
small
Gretchen's
one.
the small one. The one that runs the store is I
Oh,
don't
Christine.
think part of the family.
Christine.
Christine. Yeah, don't we need to talk to her about something?
If we want to look into the whole Norvid thing, yeah, I suppose. But she's,
Oh yeah, I do kind of want to look into that.
she's as less inclined to talk about it as the girl at the Green Order was, but and Oak sort of cringes a little bit, and he's like, and just to talk to her at all, you're gonna have to do the whole awakened mind thing, and she doesn't like that either. So, but I guess we can step by the Misty Village and see what we can find. We can talk to Alara first. She's sort of on the way if we don't go the most direct route to get to Misty Village. I mean, if we follow the path to get to Fumak from here, and Oak will break out the map for Gradiriel. Hooray! Boop.
Sight for sore fucking eyes.
I know, right?
Don't think David actually looked at this before, has he?
Nope. David's not seen this map.
No, I am looking at it.
We are way up in the top right. Also, there are still all these bunch of different little markers that aren't us that I don't remember what they're for.
They're for things involving silver, or not silver, Riven,
Okay.
more than most things.
So Yukiegi, that's us.
Yep,
That's our
yeah.
headquarters.
Do I have a token for the...
There's
Party on the map.
Caberton. I've heard you guys mention that one a
The
lot.
party is an eraser.
Okay, I'll move
Yeah.
that to where it needs
Hauser.
to be.
Short time.
I'll move that to where it needs to be then. Boop.
Locke is from Stevenora down there at the bottom. He hates it there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, ideally he'll never go back.
Oh,
Alright. So-
and I assume Caberton is like the capital or something.
Yep. Caberton's the
Yeah.
capital. Which
Nice.
half the party is loosely banned from.
Half of us
Oh,
are
shit.
wanted criminals there.
What
More
the
than
fuck?
It's a
half.
pretty nice place. I'm from there.
Yes,
They,
and we
locked
met
me
you
up.
in a top security cell.
Uh-huh.
What the
They're
hell?
still fairly nice people.
You'll figure it out, Bjorn. You'll figure it out. Or you won't. It'll be fine.
Oh, and also Rydell is like Las Vegas.
Yeah, Rydell
Rydell.
Rydell, which
Where's
is right
that?
here, is going to be Bjorn's favorite place in the world because it's medieval Las Vegas.
Awesome. Let's head there immediately.
Both of Sam's characters have slept with someone there.
Yes, the same person, just two different
Yeah.
characters.
Yes.
Both
Alright.
were extremely drunk.
Well, no,
It's
Silver
like
wasn't.
it's just like on a checkbox of things all your characters have to do. They all have to have this aspect. They all have to have this little quirk. They all have to sleep with
Actually-
that one drow prostitute.
My future characters will not have anything to do with that, except for maybe one.
Yeah.
Any- anyway,
Maybe.
so moving on. If you want to go to Misty Village, which is in the Misty Timberland, which is here, we could go straight there and just not bother to go to Alara right now because she's just outside of Fumak down here.
Hmm.
But Yeah, it's whatever you guys decide. Do we want to just leave the?
I personally vote take care of the matter that will see to our friends' safety and our other tertiary objectives before we go and fetch whatever enchanted items we need to get from her.
Technically, it is yours.
Yeah, I'm the only one of the. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one with a pending enchanted item we left down there. And even then, thinking about it, honestly, I may have not made a very wise decision on what I wanted the enchantment to even be. So,
Well, it's also worth noting that she is our, I guess one could say, insider to Noro's stuff. So, if we want to more directly try to figure out where Noro is, she's the one to go to that would know.
right, I'd still say we go to her second, though, because again, we don't have any 100% concrete confirmation that Cad's in the clear, and I would rather do everything we can to get that sorted before we move forward to start tackling our main objective again, because if we're trying to move against Dahlia and Noro, while Cad is capable of being influenced by them just at a moment's notice, they're always going to be one step ahead of us, and at a moment's notice, we could have an angry elephant caving in our skulls. And just one hit on Silver was enough to do plenty of damage.
One
Yeah.
might even say it was one critical hit was enough.
Yeah. Like, we can
Alright.
stop him, but we'd rather not have that trouble with us the whole way. So I say we fix Cat up as much as we can first, and then go to Alara, whatever her name is.
Is
Right.
Cad still sleeping?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Darn, that means I have no contribution to the conversation.
Nope.
Snore! Snore!
Do you think maybe we should wake him up so he can, give his opinion on this?
This conversation is technically happening in his room upstairs. So,
Yeah, because
Okay, Locke has a way to wake Cat up.
with a way
I am going-
in mind.
Well, I mean that, but I was going to be more comedic. I was going to use a mage hand and just silently squeeze his trunk shut.
You're terrible.
I know. Hey, Locke has a bit of a mischievous streak. He is 17.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, momentary brief bit of not being able to breathe, and you are awake, Cad.
Morning,
Hi.
princess.
Again, everyone's in
What?
your room.
Oh
Now it
no,
includes-
not
Now
again.
it includes Alessandra even.
Kadruil would look around at everyone, would feel decidedly ashamed again, and just be like, "Oh no, not again."
Oh, relax. I'm the one waking you up this time. You didn't do anything. You were sleeping like a baby.
Oh,
As it is, I woke you up because we were having a conversation that pertains to you, and it just didn't feel right to have it when you weren't able to contribute. So, and then Locke will just get him caught up to speed on what we've been discussing.
so the options on the table are visiting Ulara or what was the alternative?
Going to the Misty
Going
Village
going
or
to Misty
to
Village and seeing what can be figured out from the people there, and following up on some other things, and then you can do that, or you can go to Ulara to get the artifact, the item that was to be enchanted for Locke, and potentially look into more directly
What our
figuring out
next
where
steps
Noro
are.
is.
I mean, we're going to do both anyway. It's just a matter of figuring out in what order, and Locke is thinking it would be best to go to Misty Village first.
Well, there is one thing that Kadruil was thinking. Let's see. Well, am I not able to put that in the chat?
What?
I guess not. I'm
What?
clicking and nothing's happening. So you remember when we fought the stained glass thing, and everyone sat at the riverbank, picking the glass shards out of themselves?
Uh-huh.
yeah,
I was going to see if our magically inclined, I make stuff out of stuff person could possibly make something out of magical glass dust that I saved.
That would be something to go to Ulara about. Although, is Cad actually going to get a hold of that dust right now?
Did I store it in a bag of holding? In Silver's bag of holding?
I think you wrapped it up and you kept it with your stuff. I don't remember if you gave it to her.
That's what I thought. Because I will put stuff on my character sheet and then put quantity 0 if it's something I'm not carrying.
Give me 1 second.
I think I must be
I
carrying
have
it.
a bag of fuckery magic glass dust.
Yep.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's
you
a gift transmitter and an ornate longbow. And a smith hammer for some reason.
So I guess that, poised with the choice of what we could do, I would cast that up as something to consider. That if Locke is waiting for something that would help him, I also wanted an excuse to visit her to see if she could do anything with that. But if you wanted to do that later, that's fine too.
So if Cad brings this up, Alessandra's like, wait, glass dust? What?
Ah! Have you not told her what we've been up to in the north?
I gave her a very abridged version of some events, but I have not gone into specifics about that yet, because we've been back for less than 24 hours. I haven't had a chance. We came back, we got attacked by a dude with a mustache who turned out to be a freaking amphibian. We went to bed, Cad had a conniption, and now we're here. It's been one damn thing after another, just like history.
Alessandra sort of smiles and she's like, well, I like history. What exactly happened with this glass dust?
I give her the rundown, because I am not recounting all of that, partly because I can't remember all of it.
Basically what it is, we sat there and fought a giant cathedral that turned out to be a glass golem.
So then this gives me...
Golem.
Yeah. Alessandra's like, okay. And Cad was the only one that... He doesn't have it on him, but he's the only one that really collected it, and... This gives me some other thing to look into that may be related to his whole dream thing.
Yeah, but we actually had fucked up dreams too, where we shared each other's dreams from that magic glass.
Yeah, we saw each other's pasts or important moments out there.
Interesting.
If Alessandra wants to borrow it, she can.
If you're wanting to make use of it to see if Ulara can turn it into anything, she won't take the whole stock of it, but she does want to, sort of take a look at the dust and see if she can use it to get any ideas out of the book. And I mean, it's random magic crap. She does like random magic crap. Technically, she could enchant too if she wanted to. But she's not necessarily as skilled at the make something as Ulara is. She's more of a create things that are out of nothing or magic, as opposed to create things out of gear. So, she's a conjuration wizard, not an enchantment wizard, basically.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I'll look into this. If you guys want to look into,
travel.
You want to go to the Misty Village. I do. I heard from Shield Buff. He sort of told me in the early part of the morning, after we had, late part of the day when we were making sure that the turtle went downstairs and stuff like that. He has the turtle had a very strange sword that I seem to recall disappearing. Which tells me perhaps Warlock of some persuasion. And that's, I think, what Malia was talking about too, was Warlock. But he had other gear on him.
Right.
If it's not too horrible, and none of you are going to make use of it, Shield Buff was wanting to take a closer look at that. Any of the other gear he had on him, which would then be the ornate longbow that you had, Silver.
Okay.
So
I could be a rage archer. I'm joking.
it would not be very beneficial for you because you're better with strength than you are dex. Slightly, but you are.
You know, like that one scene where that elf guy like shoots someone with an arrow, then pulls it out and stabs someone else with it.
I mean, yeah. So you if you are willing to hand it off, Silver, you no longer have the ornate longbow.
Okay.
All right. So with the rest of your party awake, perhaps we can interrogate the turtle whenever he decides to wake up, and what we can learn there. And
When he decides to wake up, sure.
if you guys want to head out, you're of course free to do so.
Before we leave, I look over at Mom. You and I do have to talk, don't we?
You know your mother's expressions.
Well, yeah, it's Mom.
Yeah. It's gonna sound bad, but it is legit her expression right now. She was hoping that you would be more focused on the tasks at hand than remembering that she said that. But she's like, yes, we do. We will return to the library for a moment. The rest of you can just chill here in the tavern, and I'll have your friend Locke ready to go here soon, I suppose. As long as that's okay with everyone else, she will retire to the library.
And Locke will follow.
I need to put you back on the Yuki-Yagi map. There we go. By the way, as you guys are making your way to the library, you do see the NPC party wandering around town. They're still here.
Alright.
Some of them, anyway.
Well, they better be. They have a giant fort to the north.
Yeah, they do. So, is there anything that the party in the tavern wishes to do with their time, or are they just going to wait for Locke?
I would like to help the inn try and like repair and clean up whatever I did.
Of course you would. Yeah, they are grateful of that, and you sort of help them clean up. Oak will sort of do so as well, just so that you're not doing it by yourself. And yeah, Alessandra and Locke make their way back to the library then. Hooray! So as you make your way inside, she's like, this isn't exactly an easy thing for me to discuss, but I suppose it makes sense.
I'm listening.
So you of course recall when Frederick, the stories that I told you as to the exact moment in time he decided he was going to run away, right?
I believe so, though a refresher course would probably be in order, I think. It's been a while since I've heard them, and it's been a very busy time.
Right. So for whatever reason, he took it upon himself to leave the Sevanora, leave me, leave you even before you were born. He came to that conclusion upon finding out that you were going to be born. The thing that made him leave was the fact that I was pregnant. I never got it out of him as to why he felt the need to do so. I mean, I understand Sevanora is not exactly the best place to raise a half-elf, as you know, of course.
Yeah, you don't need to remind me of that part.
You can see that this is something that was hard for your mother to swallow and something that's a little bit trickier for her to get out. I was not the first person that your father had been with. Valana is your older half-sister.
Oh.
He ran off and left her, and I don't think he even knew that she was a thing up until he was released from the prison and went off on another adventure himself when we told him not to. And he just stumbled upon her, and then I think he's trying to piece together some sort of family out of all of us, but I don't know exactly what to make of that. I'm not exactly sure where my heart lies in the matters, but it is something that you needed to know.
Half-sister, huh?
Yeah.
Pardon my language, but fuck, I wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I.
When did you find out?
When he showed up here with her, when you had left, while you and your friends were out and about. I suppose in Avon, was it? You traveled up to Avon for a time?
By complete and total accident, but yes.
Yeah. He came up here with her and the little boy, the little satyr Jack, you had left here, and it had just so happened that when Jack was told that his sister was going to come here, his older sister, the little satyr Jack, was told that his sister was going to come here to find him. He came with a party that consisted of his sister, Valana, your dad, again, and some cleric who was the one that was able to get the messages back and forth. But I told him he was to stay here. And the only way that he deemed it reasonable to... You can say, that she's not happy with this discussion, at all. But I asked him what reason he has to travel around with somebody else. What could possibly make that person more important than you or me? And he said it was because it was his daughter from somebody else. I was upset. I yelled at him. Threw a book at him. And he left again, saying that he would find something to something to atone for all this. Give me time to... I don't know. Just... And she, for the first time you've ever seen her, is at a loss of what to say.
Damn it, Dad. Next time I see him, I swear I'm going to punch him so goddamn hard in the face. I mean,
Punch him twice.
believe it or not, I'm glad to know I have a half-sister. It's weird as hell to think about, but I don't know, comforting in a way.
She sort of looks at you and she's... How do you mean?
I don't know, it's kind of hard to put my finger on it. I guess maybe because now I know that there's someone who gets it. Full on. Like, no offense to you, Mother, but I don't think you ever really fully grasped what it was like for me back in Sevenora, just in general, being, a half-blood. Maybe this half-sister of mine didn't go through the same thing because she didn't grow up in that shit stain of a city, but father was still absent. Ran off with his tail tucked between his legs for one reason or another. Grew up a half-blood. So, I don't know. Obviously, I haven't even met the woman, so I have no idea what I actually think of her as a person, but I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know what to think. But I do know that while it wasn't as rich and proper, I should say, as Sevenora, I do know where Villano's from. I was at least able to.
You keep saying Villana. Do you mean Vanya?
Vanya, sorry, words.
Yeah, because Villana's a dead person.
Right. Yes. Brain. Sorry. Vanya. Yes. Too many names that are too similar. Vanya is actually from a wood elf village, similar to that of Sevenora, a village that didn't really seem too keen on others of different races either. So, yeah, I suppose you're right. She would be in a similar stance to you. I guess I can take comfort in knowing that you might be able to achieve some sort of relationship with her, if not him.
I still mean to try with the old bastard if I can get him to stand still for a minute.
Yeah.
You can bet your ass when I punch him in the face, it's coming along with a very strongly worded rant. I made it pretty damn clear what my conditions for letting him out of that cell were.
No, he's told me many times. He seemed to take it to heart, but I think
Took it to heart, just taking it in the wrong direction, maybe.
Well, that and finding out about his other estranged child sort of threw a wrench in that whole thing.
I mean, if that's the case, I guess I can understand, because maybe he left one kid, maybe he feels an obligation to both of them, And if that's the case, I can't completely blame him. But I would have rather he stayed put and at least waited to hear what I had to say before he went running off to find, I don't know, whatever treasure it is he's trying to find. Because I know he's trying to find some treasure or other. The little vision I had where I heard the name and where I first saw her were evidence enough of that.
Well, if you go out with your friends again and you choose to look into it, I do know that Vanya's old town is Damapur, and the artifact he was looking for was up in the Cursed Hills. Damapur
Noted.
being back to the main map here. Right here.
And you said they are... The treasure they're after is where? The Cursed Hills?
Cursed Hills, right there.
Alright.
Which, for sake of putting it out there, remember when you guys randomly were in a village that had a little tiefling girl that ran off?
Oh yeah, with the circus!
That's where it was.
So you're saying I was a stone's throw away from my half-sister and I didn't even fucking know it.
She wasn't there at the time. But that's
I was a stone's throw away from my half-sister's house and I didn't even fucking know it.
Yep. Yep. I'm clever
Jesus
sometimes.
Christ. Sometimes, yeah. Ish, okay.
I can be a crafty DM.
Yeah, I've
Give me some
noticed.
Give me some credit.
Yeah, alright.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, I guess, yeah, I you needed to know this wasn't exactly an easy conversation for me to have either. The first time, let alone the second time. But yeah, if you, he will be deserving of it. I will give him that. And if you give him a punch, give him 2. 1 for me. Again.
I mean on having that confrontation here, so you can give him that punch all you want.
Oh.
I mean, that's my hope, at least, that I can confront him here in the house so that I can lock the doors and make sure he doesn't run away from it.
Oh, if that's the case, I'll just put him in a force cage.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Make me feel better, too.
And me. No, you don't get to run away this time. Door's locked, and these fists are going right up your ass. Okay, that came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah.
Go back to your friends. You got some other things to deal with. This may need to go to the back burner, as it were. If you encounter your father in some way in your travels, then yes. But until he finds that magic artifact, if he finds it, I don't necessarily see him making his way back here.
Alright, well, thanks for cluing me in. That's, a lot to drink in, but it's good to know.
Yeah. And she is going
Alright.
to give you a hug.
Yeah, Locke's gonna give her right back. He was about to give her a hug himself, so...
Yep.
Hey, hugs are healthy.
Indeed.
And once that's done, once the hug parts, Locke will say a few more goodbyes and then head back to the group.
Yep. Good enough. You return to the rest of your friends.
And he's definitely quieter and sort of has this distant look about him.
Everything okay?
Yeah, just some unexpected family drama.
What now?
Nothing too serious. Don't worry too much about it. I still kind of need to wrap my head around some of it. I'll clue you in when I'm a bit more settled on my thoughts. If I talk about it right now, I'm just going to go on this aimless, meandering, rambling rant that goes nowhere and conveys like 17 different messages, and all of them conflict with each other, and I'd rather be coherent.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
So what? Are we heading out?
Might as well. We don't want to waste any time.
Right.
Sooner we can get Cad looked at, the better.
To Misty Village.
Misty Village.
Small pity, though. Bjorn's not going to get much of a chance to enjoy the party life of Yukiegi. Oh well.
Well, we'll be back soon.
Oh, absolutely.
As you guys are making your way back outside, or back outside and out of town, you sort of look up to the mayor's house that was up above where Shield Buff was, and I'm not even going to make a perception check required because this guy is obvious. I don't know how much Bjorn would have encountered Warforged in the past.
I doubt he really has.
Yeah. So, looking up, you see towards the like what had been described to you as the mayor's office. You will see a 6.5 foot tall, typical, standard, wooden, mechanical, metal, shield, warforged individual, and he seems to be looking over that ornate longbow that Silver had given to Alessandra to give to him. And you come to the realization that the shield buff that everyone has been referring to is a warforged, and is apparently the mayor of this town.
Yep.
Well,
and,
how about that?
As he's looking over the bow, you guys are sort of walking away, and this guy's talking softer. You see a tiny little elderly gnome that's sort of bouncing around him and watching him as he's messing with the bow, as if either super curious or guiding him. You're not sure which. Yeah, if there's nothing else, you guys will finally make your way out of Yukiegi and head towards Misty Village.
Yee.
I assume you guys are going to take the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's see. We are looking at about 2.5 hours in, just over 2.5 hours in, and if you guys are sort of keeping to the road and not really venturing out very much, Bjorn, you will come to the realization very quickly that there aren't quite as many wilds and open expanses to Yukiegi or to Gradiriel as there was in Avon. Avon was always described as a more hostile and dangerous place, and as long as you keep to mostly the road, when you're traveling through Gradiriel, you've got very little to worry about. There's mountains and creatures that traverse the ground, the lands, especially in and around the wooded areas, but there's nothing crazy like giants or dragons or anything crazy to worry about.
No.
None of that.
Bjorn, Bjorn's not entirely sure how to feel. He likes the chance to relax a bit, but also he does like a good brawl to break up just walking during the day.
Yeah. If we'll probably say that he might not necessarily do anything with it, but if Bjorn is quote unquote looking for trouble, make for me a perception check.
Oh shit.
Great.
Oh no. This is a
Watching
scenario
your
that
natural
teases
20.
me.
Mm-mm.
9. Okay, yeah.
Just
There's
9.
not really anything going on. Your trip to the Misty Timberland and whatnot is annoyingly peaceful.
Bjorn is angry.
I,
He's just stomping down the road, pouting like a kid.
What is wrong? You're not your truthful self. What's wrong?
Nothing has tried to kill me in days. It's infuriating.
Kadruil just sort of looks down as they walk.
oh,
Oh.
Well played. You made our mascot sad. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Damn it, man!
It's like you know there's more to the world other than fighting, right?
Yes, but I don't see any taverns nearby.
We'll take it to the tavern.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, Young sort of speaks up and is like, actually, if we don't mind too terribly far of a detour, we can take him to a really good tavern.
What?
Oh, right out?
Yeah, I think
we
our
could
buddy
go-
here will
we
really
could-
enjoy Rydell.
Huh.
Maybe after all the craziness, but
Well, yeah, I mean, if we want to stick to the road, we can go to Rydell, pick up supplies, and then continue on to past Viewmark.
Nah, I have no complaints.
Yeah, we went to an icy place. I think we should have a little bit of fun on our journey.
Right, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I have no complaints. Sure, you can hit that on the way.
And it's settled. Let's continue walking.
are you going to go to Rydell?
We're going to... No, Misty Village first, then we'll go to Rydell, and then Viewmark.
Alrighty. So, you...
Is that the game plan?
I am this plan.
Alrighty. So you will make your way down the road, continuing on for the next almost a week or so, with the, like 5.5, 6.5 days travel to get to the Misty Village. And as you make your way to the forest, Bjorn, make for me a survival check at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
7.
Mm.
Alright.
It's not great.
So, as you guys are making your way into Misty Village, like, Bjorn's been in forest before. Bjorn sort of grew up in forested areas and other such things, and he's used to the, you know, idea of traversing a forest and landmarks, well, not landmarks, but like, you know, moss on the north sides of the trees and all that sort of various things to try to keep your direction as you're making your way forward. Now, admittedly, the group is not getting lost, and neither are you, because the person that is leading the path to get to the village in the forest is Oak and Yong. But you can't help but notice that something about this forest is just off. You know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, you know that if Oak and Yong were not leading, you would be totally lost.
Strange. I'll walk up next to Locke and say, "Hey, what's up with this place? It seems a bit strange."
Oh, it absolutely is. Are you getting the feeling that you have no idea where the hell you are?
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, that's normal for this place. Just follow the natives. I gesture at Yong and Oak, and you'll be fine. This forest has a tendency of confusing newcomers until they're welcome.
I see.
So be on your best behavior, and everything will be fine.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Alrighty. And from there, we will go to the very tiny map that is the Misty Village.
Hey.
One of the first ones we ever had in this campaign.
Yes.
Oh man.
Like this is like we saw this shit in set back in session 1, dude.
Yeah, this was the first village ever we went to.
And
Oh,
I will have
nice.
to add some characters to this map, I realize.
Back when we heard the prophecy that may or may not be bullshit.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Let me get...
Oh. Silver's gonna sit there and be like, "You might meet an interesting... You don't have anything against tieflings, right?"
Mhm.
To
Well,
Bjorn.
No. I fought with some tieflings once. They were great.
No fighting this one?
No. Like, fought alongside them.
Ah, right. He might bug you a little bit. Just tell him a story, he'll leave you alone.
All right.
Just like recount one of your greatest drunken bar stories and you'll be fine.
I don't remember most of those, so I'll have to exaggerate.
That's fine. He's a storyteller. He loves exaggerating
You say,
everything. he does,
You'll say that
everything.
you say that you'll have to exaggerate, and Oak just like guffaws and laughs. He's like, "Oh, he'll love that." All right, so you guys make your way into Misty Village, and where are you guys going to go to first? I'll put the party back down here, as closer to the entrance.
I think we just go to the temple / hospice.
In temple.
thing.
Yeah, it is a great deal many things. For your benefit, Bjorn, this forest, though it seemed to be heavily protected by this village rather, though it seemed to be heavily protected by the fact that the forest itself wanted to keep you out. If fire was to strike this forest, it would be screwed. The buildings are thatch and wood and surrounded by trees, and yeah, this place just screams a not heavily protected from fire. And you see that all the buildings are like they're not ramshackle in the sense of they're badly made. They're more ramshackle in the sense that they are simple made. The people of this village are not the type to care if things are really fancy or special or anything else like that. It also, coming in here and being a person who's used to the big cities and urban areas, you are immediately hit with, this place is very, very small. There's probably not a lot of people that live here, like, at all. Like, based on my other maps, I would say that, the villages were bigger than the maps, but here in Misty Village, yeah, no. Most of these houses and buildings are the ones that we got. That's about it.
You'd be lucky to say that there are a dozen people who live here.
There's probably a dozen people that could call this place home, but at any given time, you're probably looking at maybe 5 or 6 that are actually staying here. Case in point, Oak and Yong would call this place home and would be a part of that dozen or so people that are from here.
Wait, how many people are part of her family?
Technically the ones that are considered a part of Leanne's little group would be Leanne herself, which is mother, the father, let me see if I can, Kenneth, that is father. So Leanne, Kenneth, Gretchen, Oak, Yong, they are the ones that are the adoptive family. That's 5 people that are all different races.
Gotcha. So they're almost 50% of the population. Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
it is worth noting that not only are they 50% of the population, though in character you guys might not necessarily know this, but this village would not exist if it not be for Leanne and Kenneth. They sort of brought the people together. But anyway, so you guys are going to go to the temple / inn, as it were.
Yep.
Leading the way. Bjorn
Hey,
again.
Oak, why don't you play some music to announce we're home?
Wait, what?
You have an instrument, don't you?
I do.
Play some music. Let them know you're home.
Sure, they already know that. And besides, if I do that, I'm gonna get... We don't want to attract trouble, do we? We're gonna have enough problems with that
point.
without... We're gonna have enough
point.
problems with him seeing Bjorn. I don't want to just like... By the way, come here, we have a new friend, and if I play music, he's gonna know.
Okay, good point.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Alright, let's just hurry up and, push Bjorn into the building. Come on, hurry up.
Bjorn, make a perception
Bjorn.
check.
Okay.
In we go.
22. All right. So yeah, you're just being shoved into the thatch roof of this place, and you glance out. You get a chance to glance out, and you see up in one of the nearby trees in the back here, there is a crimson red tiefling that is sort of writing in a little notebook, and is just sitting up in the trees. And as he sees the group come inside, you notice him look down and sort of just give you a nice warming smile.
Bjorn is
everybody shows you inside.
concerned.
What did you say Bjorn did before I did that?
I said Bjorn is concerned.
Alright. And then everybody just shows you inside. Inside, you will be greeted with a human woman. Maybe in her, I think I said that she was in her 30s or 40s or so. Sort of short, cropped hair. Sort of a brown, black almost. I'm not entirely sure if I gave the end a specific hair color. But who does have a hair color is the other person in the room. Gretchen. Gretchen is a tiny little gnome. Like, tiny little gnome. She is a young gnome. And she has incredibly bright cyan blue hair. And immediately upon coming into the room, she jumps up and is exceedingly happy and will jump into Oak's arms. It's like, "Meow."
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
you made it back.
Yeah, long time no see.
It's about time.
What do you mean it's about time?
He's supposed to have been coming back here. You know, you have reasons to come back here, Oak. I mean, you too, Yong, but I sort of expect it from you, but not from him. We were sort of trapped. We had went to Iban by mistake, okay? I can't just cast teleportation circle. Besides, we don't even have one here. True. Either way.
Yeah, and he's not lying about us being stuck in a bond, by the way. That did happen. Because we forgot to tell the captain where we wanted to go before we set sail.
Okay,
And didn't
we
remember
were just-
until like 3 days in.
Yeah, look, we were just happy to be away from that island.
I suppose
But, well,
Young sort of smiles and goes, I suppose, though, if we hadn't have went to Iban for a random adventure, we wouldn't have found our new friends here. She sort of taps Bjorn's shoulder.
Bjorn gives a little bow. I, for one, am glad you made the stop.
Now, for what it's worth, this sort of temple inn, you do see that it does have that same, that holy symbol that you saw, that Locke, wrong names, Oak. The oak leaf holy symbol that Oak had in his dream that he carries with him. Even though this building is sort of thatch and simple, it does, a person who's been in temples before, Bjorn, you do know that this is obviously a space for that same deity. And there's even a like a staff or a weapon that is sort of setting on one of the, just under the roof, like a display that's way up high. And then as you're speaking and after you bow and you look, as you bow, you're immediately greeted with the tiny little gnome girl that looks up at you.
Hello there. How can I help you?
Why is all of Oak's friends tall? You need to meet a gnome or a halfling or something. You need someone my size.
Your size doesn't matter. You have a giant personality.
You're right, I do.
And giant, and your hair has a giant color too. So,
I like my hair color, thank you.
and I was complimenting it.
Right. So, any of you want food? We can do food. Mom, can we do food? Of course we can do food. And
All right.
she will immediately go back and run off into the kitchen and get some food.
Magic.
And
Some things never change.
And as she does so, everyone will see that she sort of steps back into the kitchen and then comes back, looks back into the room, and she sort of blinks her eyes a couple times and snaps her fingers once, and a few of the plates that were dirty plates that are sitting in the room in the front foyer room just sort of lift up and are carried back to the kitchen where she is. Yeah, you guys are free to sit and perhaps have discussions or other such things.
Well, I mean, while we're waiting, Locke's just gonna cut right to the quick of the matter. He's gonna look at the mama. What's her name again?
Leanne.
I mean, Locke's gonna look to Leanne. I don't suppose the dad is in, is he?
Not right now, though we could always send him a message, see if he could come by. What do you have going on?
And I'll recount the basic gist of what's up with Cad.
That is very odd.
Yeah. It's possible we've already dealt with it, but we just want to cover our bases and be sure. So,
Let's see. Well, if you've made use of a remove curse, I don't know what other sides of greater restorations may be of use, but I'm sure I can get Kellefair to come by. He's been needing to come by too. And you sort of see that her expression is like, she's a little perturbed that people have not returned to the village when they're supposed to. And
bitch, we have schedules for a reason.
I mean, less the specific schedules and more plans, but yeah, kind of. And Yong sort of looks at Leanne and like, it's okay, calm down. We're here now. That's what matters, right? Yeah, like a week or 2 weeks late, but you're right. So with that in mind, Oak, you send a message out to Kellefair, see if he can come by. The temple's his temple's at least close to here, and he can come by in the next day or so. You and your party are free to venture out, as you know. Keep to the village. She sort of looks at Bjorn, who's newer here, and is like, do not wander off into the forest on your own, at least until you've been here for a day or two. Otherwise, you might get lost. So
I've been told.
And we gotta have some sort of protective measures around here. People may or may not come in uninvited to try to find some of us, and precautions were necessary. So,
Of course.
I still remember when Oak just randomly grabbed me and Riven and just hauled us up here.
That was a great deal. That was several months ago, but yes.
It was, yes. Several months. It was a lot longer.
Yeah. Regardless, you are free to do whatever you would wish to do around town. You will find Christine still here. Everyone is still, where you would be accustomed to finding them. Although she sort of eyes Bjorn's armor. You are from Yvonne, right?
That is true, yes.
You may want to do your best to avoid our friend trouble, unless you want to be telling stories for the next 3 days?
I believe I've heard tale of him. Is he really so bad?
No,
Yes.
he's not. He's just very curious, and he likes to hear.
Don't lie to the man. Do not lie to the man.
I have to
What
say
does
that
the-
I have to say I have not seen him actually hurt anyone. He's told me tales of where he has, but I have not seen him hurt anyone. Just so you're aware. Annoying, yes. Hurt anyone? No.
This is perchance the tiefling that was mentioned earlier, yes?
Yes.
I believe I caught sight of him as you were dragging me into the building.
Oh, your fate's already sealed.
no.
Leanne seems to answer that as she's just like, which means he's probably saw you. Be prepared for an ambush when you
Probably
leave later.
waiting outside the door.
Yeah. So, beyond that, what does people wish to do? We're waiting a day or two for Kenneth to get here, and you did have other things you wanted to perhaps look into.
Yeah.
Zip's gonna go to the convenience store.
Yeah.
Alright.
And Locke, of course, does still have his own thing he needs to do there, doesn't he, with the whole Norvitz.
Anyway.
Wasn't this the first town that Kadruil actually bought paper?
Yes, it was.
I should totally stock up and get more.
Alright. So, Bjorn, are you going to follow the people to the convenience store? Food is going to be
Yes.
a bit. Food is going to be a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll follow.
Convenience store, we call it.
I mean,
I-
general
It's a
store.
general
That's what Silver
store.
called it initially, was convenience store.
Yeah.
General store, same thing. General wares, item shop, whatever terminology you wish to use. So, Bjorn, when you leave the temple inn area, you are indeed immediately greeted with our resident tiefling.
You're on your own.
And what is the rest of the party going to do when he arrives?
Eye trouble.
Locke is going to say nothing, and is just going to march for the store.
Silver waves it. Hello.
He,
Kadruil saw me when we were here, right?
yeah, you saw him when you were here.
I would just bow respectfully in his general direction.
It's interesting that he didn't seem all that terribly interested in you, but he is interested in Bjorn.
Yeah. Okay.
You're all going to hell. Goodbye.
Jesus Christ, sir.
So, Trouble will essentially do a bit of a tip of the hat sort of bow, even though he doesn't have a hat, and towards Silver's wave, and he just looks to Bjorn, and he's, well, it seems our friends are just bringing more people to join in our lovely group around here. Who are you, sir?
I go by the name of Bjorn. And you, good sir?
Folks around here refer to me as Trouble. A bit of a name I took up to... some people think it's a fitting name, but most can call me whatever they wish.
Indeed. And what can I do for you?
You strike me as the sort that's been around. You don't at least look like you've been around here for very much.
No, I am new in town, as they say.
That gear tells me that you're not from even Gradiriel, perhaps.
Quite right, quite right. No, I come from a land of giants and dragons, friend.
Really?
Really?
We are never going to see Bjorn again.
Nope.
This is where his story ends.
It would be nice for you to join us for like a whole, 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
He's been part of this campaign for longer than that.
Really? Has he been,
Like David has, yeah.
He's been here for
No,
a
I meant
planning
like the
session.
character.
The
being,
character
like,
hasn't been with the
group.
group very long.
Ah,
What, a month?
something
If-
like
Yeah.
that.
If
Tops.
that, yeah. If that. So yeah. How
Why
much?
don't we just go start finding random characters and just bring them back here and sacrifice them to trouble?
I don't think it works. He's not that bad. Come on now.
I mean, he's not, but it's like Marius from Critical Role. We just love to pitch shit at him because it's fun.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So
Damn it, Marius!
how
Still
much?
hasn't killed anyone.
How much
He
of?
doesn't?
How much would Bjorn be willing to tell a story or two? In this case, with or without alcohol.
Well, if
can
Trouble
get
is
that-
buying,
Trouble can get that if you need it, though he would prefer not having to, but he can if you need it.
well, if Trouble wants stories, then he's definitely going to have to buy some alcohol.
Fair enough.
That's how this works.
All right.
And if the
So-
rest of you haven't been doing that, then you've been getting fleeced hard.
So here's
No,
what
you
Trouble.
can buy for all alcohol.
Here's what Trouble will do. He will sort of give you a look, and he's like, "You do strike me as a type that might need a little bit of meat in your belly to get a really good story going, right?"
Oh, of course, of course.
All right. I'll tell you what. He sort of hands you 2 silver out of his purse, and he goes, "I'm buying. You go into our local butcher shop. She's the one that's got all the alcohol.
All right.
Buy some from her, and then I'll meet you back out here."
I guess Bjorn will go in there and ask if they do indeed sell alcohol.
Have fun.
We'll get to
Oh.
you in a we'll get to you in a second. So jumping back over to the general store, you guys make your way inside, and you find young Krissa, half elf, or not Krissa, Christine. Krissa was Green Order. Christine is here. Christine seems to be working and cleaning the tables. She's organizing her wares and things. And she sees all of you come in, and she smiles real big, happy to see everybody once again, and she sort of waves.
All right. I'll let everyone else go first.
Other people are
Hello.
coming in here to buy things, so I guess the only one really buying anything will be Kat.
Me.
You were getting paper, right, Kat?
Yeah, I was going to get another thing of ink, another sheet of fine paper, and didn't I have some sort of cheaper paper, like parchment or something?
Yeah.
So how much would 1 ink, 1 fine paper, and 10 parchment set me?
Let me see here.
Which I don't even have parchment written down, so I must have used it.
Yeah, you did. We will do, since you already got the bottle for the ink, technically, I will say that the ink will set you back, normally, for like well done ink, it's like 7 to 10 gold, but that's with the bottle. So getting it without the bottle, we'll say 3 gold. So just sort of refill your bottle of ink. Because there's no reason to get rid of the ink bottle, technically.
And you said it was normally 10 for the ink in a bottle?
Yeah, for the ink in a bottle is usually somewhere between 7 and 10. 7 being on the cheaper end. So since they're not the high dollar sort of a place, their ink bottle would have been closer to 7. So getting it without the bottle is like 3.
Okay.
You're wanting 10 parchment and then 1
Yeah,
sheet
I
of fine paper?
Yeah, I think fine paper was more expensive, but the parchment is relatively cheap.
Yeah. So, one piece of parchment is going to set you back at 7 copper. So, if you did 10 of those, that is basically
7 silver.
yeah, 7 silver, math. And then one sheet of fine paper is going to be 1 silver. So 8 silver.
8. Okay.
Alrighty. What did anybody else have? Oak and Yong, Oak and Yong stayed in the temple with everyone else. Or with family type peoples. So it's just you three in here with Christine, and Bjorn is dealing with trouble.
You going to do the open mine thing?
Well, I'm gonna have Locke sort of clear his throat a little bit just to sort of get her attention. Because I will recall being told that she doesn't like the awakened mind thing, right?
Right.
So once I have her attention, I'll ask out loud. So there are a couple of questions I need to ask you, but they're a little more on the complicated side. So do I have your permission to do that telepathy thing I do so we can communicate more directly and effectively?
She will sort of blink for a minute, and then she looks back like she's looking out towards the temple, and then she'll nod softly.
All right, thank you. And I'll establish the awakened mind connection. All right, so before I proceed with this, someone give me a quick refresher. What exactly was this lady's connection to Norvid again?
Morvid was the one that she got away from because she was in a druid group.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Okay.
he started using them, and she didn't like it.
Okay.
She, when you guys encountered Krissa in the Green Order, she had access to a drug that was a very powerful drug for spellcasters, a drug that she got from Norvid. And that same drug is the drug that Christine had and has here in Misty Village, and was the same drug that Oak and her got high on a lot. And it was described to Yong to Silver from Yong that the person that when Yong encountered the chemical or the drug in the Green Order, she was reminded of Christine, told Silver about Christine's encounter with Norvid, which prompted Silver to talk about Norvid to Krissa at the Green Order. So if that is in fact the same person, which it clearly seems to be, then Christine here would have a connection to Norvid just like Krissa did.
Alright.
However, it was probably a deeper connection, because whatever it was that Christine had dealt with in her past, she was perhaps of closer ties to Norvid directly.
Alright. Okay. So, sort of speaking slowly and trying to keep as a disarming and gentle look on his face as possible so as not to alarm her or anything, Locke will up. So, does the name Norvid mean anything to you?
He's silent in the awakened mind for several moments. It's almost, you know, it's connected, but for a little bit it's as if you're not quite sure if it did or not. But then she's in a very, very small sound, even in the mental telepathy. She's, yes. How do you know him?
I'm honestly still trying to piece that one together myself. It's weird and it's complicated, and I'm pretty sure there's trace amounts of time travel involved. A ways back, something happened where my consciousness was inserted on top of someone else's who was escorting Norvid somewhere when Norvid was just a child. And this was all the way over in the Feywild. And that interspersion where my consciousness took over someone else's, if I'm recalling correctly, it lasted for several days on that end. I might be misremembering, but bottom line is, I took an interest in this drow kid I'd met and was, to an extent, trying to take care of him because apparently the person whose body I had inadvertently inhabited wasn't kind to him in the slightest, so I was trying to look after him as best as I could while I was there, and well, then I got shunted back into my own body abruptly, and recently I've started finding little bits and pieces, a breadcrumb trail pointing me to what he's been doing since then, and I'm not terribly happy with what I'm seeing, and I just want to know what's become of him for real. Because I think there was a chance he could have been good, but I'm worried he's veered away from that.
He is not good.
I've got that.
What he discovered and cultivated was powerful and useful, but how he used it and what he did to some of the others when he was testing this concoction,
What did he discover?
He discovered a drug that was capable of allowing a means to take simple plant matter that one would have assumed is generic and found in many places, and then grow it into a powerful magic herb. I have cultivated it myself several times just because of its usefulness, and admittedly there's a degree of an addiction to it, but
Okay, so just so I have this down right, this drug does something to plants?
well, it was a magic
Or is it made
herb.
from the plants?
Yes, it was made from plants, but the specific recipe and specific enchantments that go into cultivating it allowed it to become an exceedingly magical chemical potion, really. But it was less potion and more drug. It affected the user's minds, and in most cases it would just allow them to concentrate on several things at once. At its base level, it was a magic item for spellcasters that allowed them to focus on multiple spells at a time. But he didn't come to that conclusion overnight. He had to test, he had to experiment. Norbit is some sort of weird blend of a scientist and a farmer.
And what did he do with this drug that he found? I assume he used it for ill ends?
Well, yes and no. He discovered it so that he could cultivate it and then sell it. And he's become rather rich because of it, I would assume. But before all that, before he got to that point, the experiments that he did led to less than desirable circumstances for his volunteers. She hesitates exceedingly at the word volunteers. But the recipe is perfected now. All it does now is what it was intended to do. But if this was given to someone who didn't know the proper steps, or didn't have the proper magics, this could almost be used as a weapon. Something to hurt others. And he did hurt others until he figured out the specific combination.
And when was the last time you saw him? I'm assuming not recently.
No. I haven't seen him in several years.
Alright,
I'm not entirely sure. I want to know where he is now.
fair enough. I'm sorry if I dragged up any bad memories with this, but, well, not sure why, but I just feel invested in the kid at this point.
The hunter.
Thanks for your time. Huh?
The hunter.
What
That's who you
about
were.
the hunter? I was... Wait a minute, you know about that?
I know
You...
the story.
Please, by all means, tell me, because I have a hard time recalling some of the details, and I don't know what happened after I blinked out.
I only know what he told me, and I'm not entirely sure, based on his own character, how much of it is true. But he told me the story that there was a time when his family not in this realm. Norvid's originally born in Shadowfell. A realm parallel and opposite to our own.
Kind of like the Feywild, I imagine.
You know of the Feywild then?
I've been there. Wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend Shadowfell either.
Oh, with a name like Shadowfell does not sound pleasant, but go on.
Anyway, you find that as you're going through these conversations mentally, that it probably is a good thing that you're getting to her to talk to about it, because she's been sort of holding it back. It's been something she needed to say that no one really tried to pry out of her, and it wouldn't be easy to pry out of her without
Seeing
this.
as she can't speak conventionally.
It's as if she's come to terms with the whole mental telepathy thing, and it's
Right.
just no one's really pushed it. But basically, the story that she amounts to with concerns to Norvid is in Shadowfell, his family was the watcher, guardian of a gem, a magical gem, and she's not clear on the name. She can't remember the name, what he said it was, but it was a gemstone that was located in Shadowfell that was meant to be an extremely powerful artifact that others in the Feywild wanted to take control over. So the agents of the Feywild sent a hunter to Shadowfell to kidnap Norvid to use him as ransom to get the artifact.
Ah.
They then succeeded in getting the artifact from Shadowfell, and then it sort of launched Shadowfell into this much darker, warish scape, even more so than it already was, because Shadowfell was already dark. And Norvid, as a means of wanting to become powerful, wanting to amass some sort of army, he wanted to get people to work with him to try to initially get his land back. And then his very own drug and chemical that he found corrupted that and twisted it, and now it's just he wants to be more business and rich, and he couldn't give a crap about his home that he used to live. And now he's just money hungry, greedy, and like he's corrupted in a very real sense, not in less in the like demonic or spiritual sense. He is corrupted in the more mundane way. He is just rich, greedy, power hungry, and he's using this drug that he's discovered to promote that. So he's got his feelers out in multiple different places of people who happen to be herbalists that happen to be druids, and he's selling it.
Did he have anything else in particular that he mentioned about the hunter?
Not that he told to her. You can tell that she thinks that there was more to the hunter than meets the eye, at least briefly, and she's not entirely sure if that might have been what you did. But she's got a hunch that it might be. So you did
Probably
have an
was.
effect. It just wasn't, shall we say, very lasting.
Eh.
It didn't necessarily lead him to the wrong place, but it didn't help him very much either. Although it might be a way to finally get through to him if you desired to do so, which she does not. She just wants to put that part of her life as far behind her as she can, and unfortunately, the drug is something that she can't pull herself from. Like a smoker that has no will to quit smoking, even though they know that they shouldn't.
Right. Thank you for telling me all that. It's good info to have.
Thank you, Locke.
For what? What did I do?
You gave me a means to talk about it. I should have probably told Leanne and some of the others, but admittedly, talking to me is not exactly easy.
Well, I'll tap the side of my head and put on a small smile. If you ever want to talk about anything else, you know you have a line with me.
She smiles.
I should probably be getting back to the others at this point. We've just been standing here in silence with, I think, like 2 other people watching us for like 20 minutes. I'll just shoot like an awkward, like, are the others still here or did they just walk out?
Silver's still here, just like looking between them, like, well,
Right, Locke's just gonna
Sure.
give over the sort of awkward sounds like, okay, I've got what I came for. Sorry, that was very involved on my end.
yeah, it was a great conversation.
Oh, it actually was. You just couldn't hear any of it. I'm sorry.
Listen to my sarcasm.
I'll give it a little nod of the head at Christine. Well, again, thanks for sharing all of that. We're probably going to be around we'll probably be in town for another couple days, so if you need something, I was about to say holler, but then I realized that would sound really stupid, so just come get us.
She smiles, and then she sort of snaps her fingers and points off, and you see that there is a tiny little squirrel that looks up over the edge of one of the counters, and Christine will close her eyes, and the eyes of the squirrel will glow, and sort of tilt his head at you. Animal messenger.
Huh. That is. All right, that'll work. All right.
And
Tip my head
meanwhile,
one more time and then slip out.
yep. And meanwhile, in the butcher shop,
Bjorn is trying to purchase alcohol, I suppose.
yep. And this is where I'm going to sort of end the session with you encountering this town's butcher.
Oh, you are in for a treat, my brother.
Good.
So, the town butcher, first and foremost, as you walk inside, you are greeted with it is essentially a dog just a standard dog, but it's like a fantasy version of like a German Shepherd. It is a rather large canine, and along with this canine is a small half-orc boy, and he's probably about Gretchen's age, so you're looking at maybe 10 or 11. And he has the most striking feature to this little boy is he has an eye patch over his left eye.
Huh.
And he is currently sort of playing and going back and forth with the German Shepherd dog. And as soon as you walk inside, he sort of looks up and he's like, "Oh, well, wait. Do we know you? Who are you?"
Oh, hello. My name is Bjorn. I was told that I could purchase alcohol here.
Oh, right. He sort of smiles and snaps his fingers. Trouble wants you to get alcohol so that the two of you can talk. Right. Mom!
Kid's smart.
And he yells "Mom," and you hear a sort of, it's not a clatter, it's more of a very large thud. And walking from the back of what you obviously see is not only some sort of store, but a butcher's shop, you are greeted with a very large orc female with a apron and shirt, and she's just, what?
Hello. You are the owner of this establishment?
She sort of blinks. Yes.
Excellent. I was told that I could acquire alcohol by a certain fellow out there.
Trouble.
Yes, indeed.
And she just, without much of another word, she just wanders off behind the into the back of the butcher shop again, and she'll come out with two. They're not large, but they're not average either. They're a rather hefty bit of. As my TV goes crazy, they are a hefty bit of kegs. Or not kegs, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a little cask, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite a full keg, but it's bigger than just like a mug or anything would be, and she will hand it off to you.
Alright, I guess I'll give her the silver.
And she will nod, and she will take the silver.
Well, it's a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, tell me, what all sorts of meats do you sell in this butcher shop? You don't happen to have venison?
She just sort of grunts and makes her way back inside, and the little boy's like, venison. Deer, right?
That's right.
Right. We do, but I don't think Mom's done a whole lot of hunting lately. We might have to go out and get some, but we could.
No, I wouldn't want to impose. I don't know how often I'll be here.
So, wait, are you, like, most people get lost when they're trying to get in here. Did you come with somebody?
Yes, couple of fellows, Oak and Yong, I believe. Yang.
But
Yong. Yeah, that's right.
and he's like, oh, okay. Well, Gretchen will be happy about that. So, yeah, okay. Well, we have all sorts of meats right now. Not any venison, like I said. Mom's not really hunted for deer lately. Most people around here prefer to go for like rabbit and smaller game and things. But yeah, We can have all sorts of things. Mom sort of like ferments the ale and stuff. I don't really know how good she thinks it's good. She won't let me touch it. I don't know why. Anyway, so you're yeah. She's he seems very much into the idea of having a new form of a customer, but not really know what to do with it.
Bjorn will have a good spirited laugh about it and say, I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Sorry, I'm not a very good shop owner, but that's why Mom owns a shop, and then she scares people away. But anyway.
Well, like all things in life, I suppose it's a balancing act.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, you have your drinks, and you can give a good story of the trouble. He'll be happy about that. And we'll be here if you need us.
All right. Well, Bjorn will give a nod and head on out. And I'm assuming that my ale is it like sealed or is it like open top?
It's sealed for the moment.
All right. But I can't give it a good sniff then. He said it's something odd about it.
He basically it's good ale for what it is, but like everything else here, it's very much something that was fermented and made here and recently, so it would be fresh. I'm not entirely sure how that would require for alcohol and things because I don't know anything about it myself, but it's from his standpoint, knowing what others would expect, what few visitors they have here, it's not like it's store-bought. It's not like it's prepared and made, quote-unquote, professionally. Mom's not a professional when it comes to alcohol. Hunter, that's great. She's a professional hunter. She's a great hunter. But not necessarily a,
She's not
brewer.
a great brewer.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, ale is ale anyway.
Exactly.
Bjorn won't
Ale
turn it down.
is ale, yes, indeed.
And that is where I'll end this session 50, as it were, as you go off to regale stories with trouble and enjoy the fresh but slightly unprofessional ale. And the rest of the group will join us later. I was not expecting you to go to Misty Village, but I guess it makes sense. Fine by me.
Alright, so who's doing the join us in next time bits?
We will say, since it's going to be you, Brian, who's doing the next time, we will do, and Kenneth did the last time, so I will say join us. The join us thing will be done by me. The first part will be done by me, and I will give the next time to Sam.
Okay.
This has been Shadows of Gradiriel.
Next time, let's see where the hell we go next.
That is a very good question where we're going next.
It's kind of open-ended at this point, ain't it?
Yeah, very much so. But I'm sure it'll be an interesting adventure either way.
I have been told we're going to Vegas.
Perhaps.